It's the short bus Saturday. It's the short bus Saturday. It's the short bus Saturday. Short bus Saturday. It's the short bus Saturday. It's the short bus Saturday. It's the short bus Saturday. Short bus Saturday.
The content of this channel is for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised. You're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification button. And please, feel free to share the video. Thank you. What's good, everybody? I'm the G with a PhD, and you're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel, the place where black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chaser. Today, I want to introduce you to my new membership program that consists of 5 levels where you can invest in the Green Gorilla channel on a monthly basis and receive level-specific perks. Memberships are special because they improve the quality of the content of the channel and will help me to be able to keep the channel going. Now, to participate in the Green Gorilla channel membership program, all you have to do is hit the join button, which is located right next to the subscribe button on my channel page. Now, for all of my subscribers who decide not to participate in my membership program, nothing will change. The content will keep coming the way it always has. Thanks for watching, and be careful out here, people. Bless.
I've been trying to get pregnant for the past year. I really want to bring a child into this world and raise they the right way. Could you imagine doing a natural home birth, vaginal delivery, and throwing a beautiful gender reveal party when they is 15 years old? But I'm running into some complications in the conception process. You know, sperm isn't as strong as it once was with all the toxic masculinity that's in our water nowadays. So I started the in vitro fertilization process, and so far, not working because apparently I don't have very good doctors. They keep coming up with excuses like, we can't find any eggs to fertilize. Well, come on, they gotta be in here somewhere, or just fertilize something else. These bigoted doctors.
Check, man. You should start hearing me in a second, bro. This motherfucking program froze on my ass. My bad. Damn, all the while I'm talking, I'm thinking I'm saying something, man. Y'all can't even hear me out there, man. God damn. Can you hear me now? Put a 1 out there if you can hear me now, bro. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me now. I appreciate that. You got sound? You can hear you? Okay, cool, man. My bad. You know what I'm saying? I apologize for that, man. You know what I'm saying? Technical difficulties, man. Look, let me run this shit back so you can see what it is that I'm trying to do here, man. Let me run this shit back. Okay. No robotic microphone, none of that then. Okay, cool. I ain't got but 27 people here no way, so I don't feel too bad about it. But, you know, I'm going to have to go in and edit this because it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like that. But, you know, I should have checked this before I got on air. I should have made sure everything was good and did a restart, but I didn't. So it is what it is, man. You know? Let me go back over that shit again, though, man. Let me go back. Let me start over again, bro. I got to start over again, man.
I've been trying to get pregnant for the past year. I really want to bring a child into this world and raise they the right way. Could you imagine doing a natural home birth, vaginal delivery, and throwing a beautiful gender reveal party when they is 15 years old? But I'm running into some complications in the conception process. You know, sperm isn't as strong as it once was with all the toxic masculinity that's in our water nowadays. So I started the in vitro fertilization process, and so far, not working, because apparently I don't have very good doctors. They keep coming up with excuses like, we can't find any eggs to fertilize. Well, come on, they gotta be in here somewhere, or just fertilize something else. These bigoted doctors.
All right, man. So, you know, look, all I was trying to say about this video before I, came to the realization that I was having audio technical difficulties. Look, a lot of people feel like this whole trans thing is ridiculous to a certain extent. And they feel like it infringes upon their freedom of speech and their thought, and that they have to hide or conceal their opinions in the public. So they can't even openly question or discuss societal changes because, you know, they feel like they're being forced to accept and to, you know, perceive the whole transgender movement as a viable reality, you know, like, or that, you know, they have to be in consensus with the whole movement itself. A lot of people are like, why should I have to, you know, move with that? It's counterintuitive to me. Okay. Not only that, some people are like, well, you know, you're forcing us to accept all of this too soon. You know, they're like, man, the pace at which people could understand and accept this movement, it's not evolved to the point. It's too quick. You know, like you're just forcing this and ramming this down our throats. Then, you know, a lot of people are concerned about children or the youth, and they're worried about the long-term effects of hormone treatments, surgeries on minors, as well as children's capacity, you know, to make decisions which are life-altering. Like, imagine just cutting off your gonads, man. I can't imagine it. I can't fathom it. But anyway, a lot of people are worried about sports competitions, like, for example, including transgender women in women's sports, because they feel like it just gives them an unfair advantage. Some people are worried about privacy and safety, you know, like such as bathrooms and locker rooms. Some people that, you know, they worry that, okay, you're going to allow individuals to use facilities that don't necessarily align with their gender identity, but, you know, a lot of people are able to misuse this. Some people might have harmful intentions related to all of this. You know what I'm saying? So it's people with various concerns. But I thought this was funny, man. It just draws out some of the ridiculous shit that we got to contend with in contemporary culture, man. It's just, hey, this is where we are, man. This is where we are. Let me keep pushing, bro.
So I saw this thread with black women saying that they wanted to date outside of their race because they have not had a good experience with black men. Although I see where you ladies are coming from, let me just give my experience dating outside of my race. I dated one Mexican and one Indian man. So first things first, men are going to be men in every single race. It doesn't matter where you go, men are men regardless. Number two, these men are very intentional with their dating. When they say they're looking for a wife, they are looking for a wife. And once they find that, they're not going to waste any time locking you down. If you are what they're looking for, they move fairly quickly and they view marriage as a duty, right? Lastly, black women, if you want to date outside of your race, you need to be disciplined. When they say we're going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, you better be up at 5 o'clock getting ready. They are not going to deal with the lack of discipline, and what we make black men put up with, they are not going to go for that.
Whoa. She said a whole lot in that shit, bro. But I mean, what I gathered from all of it is, man, I gather from that, man, that, there are a group of women out here who understand, man, that they treat black men like shit. Straight up, bro. They understand it. They see it for what it is. Like, hold on, if you're gonna date men from other races, this is what you have to do. You can't be like how you are with black men. You can't be assholes. In other words, you can't fucking run game on them. If he says, let's get up and go to the gym, bitch, get your ass up and go to the gym, be ready. But if you're dealing with old niggas, regular ass run-of-the-mill old Daquan or Ray Sean, fuck, you can do what you want to do. What do you think about that, fellas? Look, my opinion about it is this, man. You got internalized racism out here, man. And so, some people may unconsciously adopt negative biases and stereotypes this society perpetuates about their own racial group. And this is especially the case amongst black men. We've been stereotyped and caricaturized and stigmatized as no good, didn't do nothings, ain't shit type dudes. Now we're abusers and more harmful to our community than anything else. And so, right now, people feel like they can talk about and treat us any kind of way, okay? And, sometimes people behave differently with those they perceive as out-group than they do the in-group. Like, it's a lot of racial dynamics going on, like that, people feel like once they get closer to whiteness, then they need to behave a little better. But when they're closer to the Negro-ness, they don't have to behave in such a, enlightened and sophisticated manner. They can treat niggas any kind of way, but when you get to white folks, you got to act a little better. You have to be on your best behavior, so to speak, okay? This is what we got, maybe this is operating in the back of black women's minds. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I would like to have the opinion of a black woman on this issue, but my whole thing is, you're seeing it right here. We treat niggas like shit. You can't treat these other guys like black guys. You can't do it. That's what's her opinion. That's what she said. I didn't say it. She said
it. What you reading, Fred?
I ain't reading nothing. I'm looking at pictures.
Is the one of them naked heathenist women magazines?
No, honest, it's a photo album. Pop's got some pictures in there that were taken before I was born. Hey, he's got some pictures of Mama in there, too.
Oh, are there any of me in there?
I got a few in here with the back of your head thing, doesn't it? Don't sit on the Bible now.
What you doing with the Bible, Fred?
Reading it.
Ain't it funny how even the worst of heathens try to get righteous when they think the Lord is about to tap them on the shoulder?
Listen, Esther, if I wasn't so sick, I would give you one of these across your ugly lips.
Who you calling ugly, sucker?
I'm calling you ugly. I could stick your face in some dough and make some gorilla cookies.
Hey, all I can say is, man, anytime I see a clip of Fred Sanford, man, I'm a roll with it, man. Fred Sanford is undefeated. Fred Sanford is undefeated, man. Oh, man. Let me go to the next one, man.
Hold on, I gotta get a couple things straight. So it's laughable when a woman spends $10,000 on her body, but it's praised when a man spends $10,000 on jewelry. One does it for attention and the other does it for what?
Hold on, wait a minute, man. Wait. Hold on for a second, man. So this woman right here is equating buying a necklace that's expensive with going to surgery that's expensive. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's a false equivalency. But okay, let me go ahead and see what else you got to say, man.
What's the difference between putting $10,000 in your ass and $10,000 around your neck?
I'll talk about that in 1 second. It's quite a bit different.
Well, I guess there's health concerns in regards to surgery, but then again, niggas is dying every day over VVS's and Cuban links. Speaking of surgery, Kanye didn't care about obesity until after he received liposuction. And how come everybody that pretends that they care about obesity in the black community uses Lizzo as an example, when Rick Ross and many others have been fat their whole careers? Does it only matter when it's about a black woman? Well, that's not fair. We should care about fat black men, too. Speaking of problems in the black community, everybody wants to talk about abortions, but nobody wants to talk about fatherless homes. Herschel Walker, Kanye West, and many others have created a space where their black children are not going to grow up with black fathers present in the home. So the black woman should continue to have more black children that'll be made fun of for not having fathers. These are just things that befuddle me is all.
Man, that chick right there would be hard to be in a social situation with, bro. But I mean, look, she said a lot. So look, here it is, bro. It's one thing to be critical of somebody buying an expensive trinket, like a necklace or some shit like that, versus the risk involved in, surgery or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, you start talking about, like, okay, well, it's a double standard. It's a double standard because women, getting Brazilian butt lifts. Like Kanye West's mama died from getting a nip in a tuck, man. Like literally, Kanye West's mama died from having plastic surgery, man. Straight up. Now, let's just keep it a buck, man. Yeah, it's true. Buying something expensive is, a form of material consumption. And it's a way of displaying a symbol of wealth or status. But plastic surgery, on the other hand, is more personal and it's body focused. It actually involves altering your physical appearance, often with the aim of achieving like a beauty standard, a societal beauty standard. Now, the risks involved in these two types of consumptions are very different. The primary risk of buying expensive items is financial, primarily, like overspending or going into debt. And there can also be some psychological risk if the person is using material goods as a way to validate their self-worth. But on the other hand, plastic surgery, it carries intrinsic physical health risks. Complications from the surgery, infections, scarring, okay? And potential mental health, such as body dysmorphia or dissatisfaction with the results, okay? So, like, how do you determine which is more dangerous? To me, it's just a false equivalency, right? It's a false equivalency, man. And then, like, to say, well, Negroes get killed over necklaces. Come on, bro. And to equate that with, like, the risk associated with surgery. Come on, man. Like, look, with one, you have control over the risk. people have more control over the risk of theft because they can decide when and where to wear the jewelry. They can invest in security for their home or even when they go out or abroad. But by contrast, the risks associated with plastic surgery, they're outside of the individual's control and can happen despite the skill of the surgeon or the patient's health. Okay? Physical harm. It's true. A robbery can potentially harm somebody's physical integrity. Okay? But this is not an inherent risk related to owning something expensive like a necklace. But the physical harm is a direct and an intrinsic risk related to plastic surgery. So fuck all that. You can't compare the two. Okay? And you got permanence of consequences. When you get surgery, that shit can create permanent harm or changes to your body. Whereas if you lose a material item, you can get it back again. Or you can write it off. So it's a difference. Now, as it pertains to fatness or whatever, or body, positivity amongst men and women, and, you got Lizzo, and then you got Rick Ross, and then you got, big women, and you got big men, and like the big women get called out, the big men kind of get a pass or whatever the case may be. Hey, look. So you mean to tell me big men don't get like stigmatized? Big men don't get stigmatized? Be About Peace and Pleasure says, my brother has a gold Cuban link, but lives in my mother's house rent-free. Yeah, but does your brother have like a penis enhancement or something like that, man? Because, like Big Pun. He was a pretty big guy, man. Biggie Smalls, whatever. It's some sexy bigger women, like Jill Scott. Lizzo is not sexy, man, but Jill Scott's kind of sexy. I said what I said, bro. Jill Scott is sexy. Lizzo is not, bro. That's just the facts, bro. But hey, so one can say Rick Ross takes his shirt off, though. Now, if I look like Rick Ross, I wouldn't take my shirt off. I wouldn't take my shirt off if I look like Rick Ross. But hey, you can do what you want to do. You can do what you want to do. Anyway, and then look. The last thing she was saying was, something about, like kids being left without their daddies and all this homes and all this. Man, to me, that's a whole bunch of bullshit. What does that have to do with anything? Like, first and foremost, man, a woman can divorce you and take your kids, and then that's it. Then it's a single parent family by fiat. So I don't want to hear shit about black women talking about fucking single parent homes or how black men are responsible for the shit. Because half the time, 3/4 of the time, it's you motherfuckers that's leaving the relationships and creating the fractures in the homes. So, there you go. On to the next, man. I don't want to be doing this all day, man.
You're missing my point. You're literally taking it literally instead of reading in between the lines. If you're an alpha and you are comfortable within yourself in being confident, why does it matter if you're also with an alpha?
Because those...
Or someone who's also strong-minded, contains leader qualities. I'm not done. Contains leader qualities. Is there something funny?
Yeah.
What's funny? I want to hear it. What's funny? I just feel like you haven't had a guest like this before, and you're just astonished. I don't know.
I'm not worried, concerned about you, young lady.
I never said you were.
You
Is
made
that
me
what I
laugh.
said?
Are you mad?
No, is that what I said though? You just put words in my mouth.
made a little smirk, and then you mad.
I just asked you.
Listen, and talking. Alpha woman? What are you, Wonder Woman?
Don't put
Alpha
words in my
woman?
mouth. I never said I'm an alpha woman.
Man, that chick right there is hard to. You could already tell she'd be hard to get along with, bro. Oh man, she'd be hard to get along with, man. I really would like to know how many women out there really think that, you know, they would desire a man that they could, you know, basically treat like shit and punk, man. For real. How many women out there want a man that they could, you know, fucking just, you know, do whatever the fuck they say? Like a nigga who would just bend his back and genuflect and do whatever a chick say, bro. Like women who think it's cool and it's sexy and shit for, you know, a man to allow them to cut them off or to, you know, check them and shit like that, or tell that nigga where to be, where to go, and how to do this, how to do that. Like how many women actually are gonna be happy with a man that like kind of like genuflects and has no spine and like, you know, like he the motherfucker like is doing what she say. I'm just being honest, man. I would like to know what women like, which women really would like that or be attracted to that. How many women that get moist with a man, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, they can just check and tell what to fucking do. I'd like to know. Now, and then this whole conversation about alpha, man, I'm so tired of hearing this stupid ass shit. I told y'all, I don't know why, you know, the YouTube community, social media communities keep using instances or conversations centered around alpha terminology. Why? I mean, like this shit has already been debunked. It's already been done away with. These concepts originally were derived from studies on animal behavior, particularly wolves, okay? And the subsequent research has contradicted these initial findings. Like, wolf packs, in them, right, the alpha pair are typically just the parents. That's it. And dominance hierarchies within families are more about the family dynamics than any inherent alphadom or some shit like that. So even in primate societies, social status is like changing and shifting. And it depends on factors like age, whether or not the primate is healthy or they're suffering in physical vigor, social alliances. There's no sort of fixed alpha status. So it's an oversimplification if you ask me. But like the whole idea that, you know, like being a bitch, being an asshole and a jerk is somehow like being assertive, man. Like we got to stop this, man. It's turning into something ridiculous. Then she goes on to say, well, I'm not real. Did I ever call myself an alpha? Come on, you implied that you were an alpha woman. Like you a boss bitch, you run shit. Come on, man, keep it a buck, man. Don't try to gaslight after you done made the point. But anyway, I'm moving on, man. I don't want to do this all day.
I love Jonathan Majors. There was something in me that...
I wonder if you love him now that all this bullshit done went down. I love Jonathan Majors. He's a funny looking dude if you ask me, but you know, hey, it is what it is.
Felt, I bet he has a white girlfriend. And when Antoinette revealed to me that he was in Sweden somewhere with a blonde-haired white woman, I don't celebrate that. I'm not gonna celebrate their children that they have.
Oh my God.
It doesn't make me be like, yes, like, you know, some people together, you're like, I love them together.
That's how we all got here, a white woman and a black man.
Help me.
So this has already been talked about in this space. This is old, okay? But the thing is, She is the product of a black man and a white woman. That's how she got here. She is the product. She's a mixed race kid. Her daddy is black, her mom is white. But she got a problem seeing a black man with a white woman. She don't like that shit. I really don't like that. You know, there's instances in which you see people together and you're like, I like that. I'm rooting for them. But not in this case. But listen what she says next, though.
Through this, I don't have a logical answer.
And what I get agitated about is because it's commercially trendy for people to be in interracial relationships. It's become a presentation of diluted blackness. Like, aren't you happy to see like all these mixed families in Cheerios commercials? No, because the storytelling is not a mixed story. The storytelling is this is what's digestible for white people.
I don't mind seeing black women with white men. It gets.
I don't mind seeing black women with white men. There you go. I don't mind. I don't really like to see black men with white women, but I don't have any problem whatsoever with seeing black women with white men. I wonder the fuck why.
Even more toxic for me.
Oh, you're toxic. What?
I don't.
What? Hold on.
Let me play that back again, man. Not the whole thing, but at least the part where she talking about she don't have a problem. She got a problem with black men with white women, but she don't have a problem with black women with white men.
Mixed families in Cheerios commercials? No, because the storytelling is not a mixed story. The storytelling is this is what's digestible for white people.
I don't mind seeing black women with white men. It gets even more toxic for me.
Oh, you're toxic. What?
I don't.
What? Hold on.
So she don't mind Zaddy, white Zaddy, come beating up her guts and shit, but she can't stand to see Mandingo having some jungle fever or something, man. What's Why? Why would that be the case, man? I don't know, man. I just feel like, you know, like chicks that do that shit, internalized racial hierarchies, you know, people from marginalized groups may internalize the messages in the field of desire to align themselves more closely with whiteness. And that could be what it is. It could be her perception of exclusion. Like seeing black men in relationships with white women might lead her to feel less like she's less desirable within her own racial community. Because she might interpret it as, you know, the whole notion that a black man is with a white woman, that like black men actually prefer white women over black women or something like that, which could lead to feelings of rejection in her or some shit like that, or insecurity. You know, I don't know, but I think it's a double standard, though. Said the women are glitching. I just, you know, hey, it is what it is. I don't understand it, bro. I don't get it. But let me push, man. I'm gonna push through. I'm almost trying to get through this, man.
I am aware that I'm not a man and I will never be a man. However, I'm not willing to debate what I'm about to say. So I low-key feel like now that I've healed and I look at relationships differently, men get the short end of the stick because you're not allowed to be sensitive, but how dare you not talk to me about how you feeling? Don't be emotionally constipated, but if you tell me too much how you really feeling, then I don't believe that you're man enough for me. I don't want you to be this superhuman all the time, but you can't take that S off your chest. Do not sit the world down off of your shoulders around me because I'm not willing to pick it up and help shoulder it. Like, you can't have boundaries. You can't have standards. You can't require a woman bring something to the table that you set before she was even in the picture. You're not allowed to have a broken heart. You're not allowed to be afraid of love. You're not allowed to have walls. You're not allowed to be vulnerable. There are so many things that the world will not allow you to do, but they also expect you to do the same thing. You know what I mean? The world would have you to believe that you're not.
Yeah, I mean, I think what she's doing is explaining the catch-22 that black men, or the double bind that black men find themselves in, or men in general. Okay. So it's giving conflicting messages about what men are supposed to do with their emotional behavior. On one hand, you're encouraging men to be more emotionally available and vulnerable related to these so-called evolving social norms. But then on the other hand, when men actually do express their emotions or their vulnerability, they get ridiculed or criticized for not conforming to traditional masculine norms. So you got gender stereotypes, which are traditional. Men are encouraged to be stoic and strong. And if you are emotionally vulnerable at all, it's a sign of weakness. Or it's a sign that you're a bitch. You're a woman. Then you got, like society is in phase and shit. So it's like, okay, you want these norms to be flexible, but everybody ain't gonna be able to catch up to these norms and these so-called changes. People are still gonna hold on to traditional views about gender roles. But you're gonna have, the whole point though is, at some point, something's gotta give with this shit. You know what I'm saying? At some point, something's gotta give with it. Okay? But it's a hell of a thing, man, to tell men to do one thing, expect them to do something else, and then when they do the thing that you expect them to do, then, you tell them the one thing again, and then you leave the motherfucker confused about what he's supposed to be doing. Hold on, you want me to be strong? You want me to be stoic? But then you don't want me to be strong and stoic. You want me to listen to you, but you don't want me to listen to you. It's like you got men going all over the place. I say men should be like, fuck this shit. Be yourself. Stop trying to conform to what, society tells you ought to be. Be who the fuck you are. That's how I feel about it. But anyway, we're going to keep pushing.
The more educated and financially stable a woman is, the least likely she is dateable to most men.
A lot of the times we attach, our experiences to our accolades. And I think in real life, a lot of the issue that some of us have as black women, and I can speak from a place of experience, isn't the fact that we're successful. It's the fact that sometimes our energy and our attitude with that success be
There you go.
Sorry, but it's the truth. A lot of the times it's, I don't need this, I don't need that, I'm an independent, I get my own. That's cool, baby, get your own. They love that in real life, but they still want to feel like, oh, Daddy, I love you. Daddy, I need you. Daddy, I appreciate you. They still want to feel like that. So I think that sometimes we be so quick to say, they mad because I'm getting money. Mad because I got a degree. They not mad at that. They want that. They want a partner. They mad at the energy that comes with that sometimes.
And I think a lot of the times we need to know the difference between independence and hyper-independence.
Yes.
Independence, you on your own. Hyper-independence is a...
Man, fuck all that. Like, if you're in a relationship, there is no independence. It's interdependence, to be quite honest. But, so I don't want to get into that hyper independent shit. It's a difference between that. Like if you're in a relationship, it's supposed to be interrelatedness, not independence. But at the end of the day, I think what the first lady said, it kind of captured the essence of like what a lot of guys are feeling. Like, okay, so you got a good job. It don't mean you got to be a bitch. It doesn't mean that you got to be an asshole. Which is basically a bitch is a female asshole. A jerk. Bottom line. You don't have to just be a jerk. It's unnecessary. Just because you got a gig. Now, if a guy walked around like, I make a certain money, I make a certain amount of money, fuck you. You're going to be like, this guy's an asshole. I don't give a fuck how much money you making. You still need to show some fucking respect. Because, like, if you're making 100 G's or whatever, you can still get your motherfucking wig knocked off. You feel me? You can still get your motherfucking eye dotted and your T crossed. That's the way I perceive it. Like, the whole point is, your bank account doesn't mean, you're permitted to be disrespectful and to be overall cantankerous and ignorant. as you come across different people. Like, you know, you can put that shit, man, in a bag, man. Nobody give a fuck about your job for real, man. Just be respectful. That's all that's required, man. But I think, you know, I don't know, man. I guess, you know, feeling like, you know, you have control over your job makes you feel like you got control over everything else. And, you know, like a lot of people need to learn how to cut off what happens at work and take it, you know, take on a different kind of persona when they get to the house. Like that shit don't work. Like the shit you do at your job don't necessarily work at your house. But a lot of people don't know how to, you know, compartmentalize and cut that off. They don't know how to stop it. Anyway, on to the next.
True or false?
I get a drink.
Women want to be mothers.
I'm sorry.
More than they want to be wives.
To a certain degree, not as a woman, because I don't know, but to a certain degree, women feel like or seem to feel like they already know how to be a mother. But when it comes to being a wife, that takes work. And the reason why they would rather be a mother, because in their minds, it comes naturally. But when it comes to being a wife, guess what? They have to relinquish a certain amount of control. They have to learn the opposite sex. But when it comes to having a baby, all they got to do is just have a baby. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying having a baby is easy.
I gave you 30.
Having a baby.
Before y'all go.
Women don't want to be mothers before wives. In
Bullshit.
an ideal world, in a perfect world, we would want to be a wife first.
Period.
Bullshit.
Our options are so slim.
Due to you.
Look here, man. Bullshit. The woman at the end, like, I don't know what's up with that chick, man. I don't know, like, 1 minute she sounds like she might have some sense, and the next minute she on some bullshit. In the ideal world, first comes love, first comes marriage, then comes the baby and the baby carriage. But we can see what the behavior is. The behavior is a lot of fornicating and fucking going on. Am I wrong? It's a lot of fucking and fornicating going on. Or maybe I'm mistaken about it. So we already know, like, unless you're a fucking dunce, you know what the outcome of fucking is. So if it's the case, like, you can tell what people want and what they accept by what it is that they actually do, man. So a lot of these chicks, they don't mind being moms, man. Like, their identity is enmeshed with, you know, thoughts about being a mother. Not necessarily a wife. A wife is outside of the bounds or the realm of necessity. And then they get absolute control over the children. They get absolute stewardship. It gives them a modicum of power. So, yeah, I agree absolutely 100% about this shit. Women, especially black women, they do not give a fuck about being wives for real. Most of them. They care more about being moms in the mother role than they care about the wife role. That's just the facts. The mother is the thing that gives them prestige, not the wife. And then how they package marriage today, that marriage is the patriarchy and all this shit, and we gotta smash it. And the way to smash the patriarchy is to break up families and to take men outside of the context of the family. That's just the way this shit is going, bro. But, you know, one could argue that families are the cornerstones of society itself. It's the place where you learn how to cooperate with others, how you learn discipline, how you learn how to work as a coordinated unit. That's the place where you learn it. But if from the outset, it's not a place of cooperation, it's just a place of sporadic despotism with no eye on anything in the future, it's just we gonna make it, we gonna make it. It becomes a breeding ground for either mediocrity or dysfunction. But this is where we are now. Motherfuckers is, you know, pubbing it up like it's the greatest thing in the world. Let me keep pushing with this, bro. I'm not gonna stay here with this, bro.
Being black is so fake right now. It's like motherfuckers only care when it's time for somebody to die and the cameras to show. It's like, bro, motherfuckers is out here showing every day that they need help. It's in the music, and we only listen to it till these die. It's like, bro, everybody out here need help, and everybody walking around this motherfucker like they got it all together.
Yeah, I put that in there, man, because a lot of black people do walk around like they got it all together, man. You know, but like being black, man, it's a hell of a thing to endure in this kind of culture and society, bro. Everybody act like they got all the shit together, man. But the things I hear being said and the actions I see being done, it, to me, you know, it's an indication that there's a lot going awry. Some things that are fucked up. Juno. We hard though. You know, we can't express what's going on. We can't like argue that, you know, especially, you know, when it comes to us individually. Oh, ain't shit wrong with me. Ain't nothing going wrong with me. Okay. Let me keep pushing though.
Every woman believes she deserves love, and she believes that she deserves the type of love from a type of man that she believes she deserves it from. And when she finds out that the type of men that she don't like her, it's too much to bear. Like I said, women like, listen to this, women like what is advantageous or beneficial to them. So if you speak on what you don't like, and that puts her at a disadvantage, or it eliminates her from the equation, she has a problem with that. Because now she knows that the type of man that she wished she could be married to is not the type of man that wants to be married to her.
That's a hard pill to swallow. So what should that woman do? Like in that situation, now that she if hopefully she understands this, what should that woman do?
First, she should introspect. She should see what it is. If she overweight, you can attribute that to the fact that you overweight.
And I think that's understated. Hey, that's understated. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you said lose some weight, bitch. But I mean, you know, here's the point, man. Like, I don't know where it came to pass, man. Like, the women feel like that everybody ought to accept them just because they are who they are. And they, you know, they got all these high ass standards. Man, a lot of women, man, got standards way too fucking high. That's like this Ebony K. Williams chick, man. Like, you know, her standards are way too high. But the dudes that you like and the dudes you think you're worthy of, they not fucking locking you down. They not rocking with you like that. They ramming you with some hard D, but you know what I'm saying? They ain't taking you in like, you know, like, okay, I'm here to, you know, be there and we gonna make this work and all of that. They giving us some hard D. But then they passing the baton like, hold on, man, I can't deal with this. And it's a lot of women like this, man, who feel like they deserve the best of the best of the best. And, you know, they don't want to settle. And it's all based on some superficial bullshit. Most often it is. And it's the Kevin Samuel phenomenon, man, where a whole bunch of women line up to, you know, ask questions about how they can get this rich nigga. How can I get a rich man? A high value man? How can I secure one? Anyway, man, let me keep pushing, but I ain't trying to do this shit all day, man.
That's all guys want. All guys want is pussy.
Or could it be that the men that only want pussy, the men that only want sex from women, is because that's all that the women have to offer? Because for me, if pussy's all you're offering, pussy's all I want.
Oh, man, you shook them chicks right there, but you got mothership on their ass. Oh, man. All guys want is pussy. All guys want is pussy. Dude, like, man, look. Not necessarily the case. But if all you have to offer is pussy, then from you, that's all I want. He dropped the mothership on her ass, boy. All of them sitting there looking dumb as a motherfucker. Like, what happened? This took a 180 really quickly. I gotta see that shit again. That shit was a flawless victory. Damn. Look at this shit. It's crazy.
That's understatement.
I gotta go back. This is a slayer more than that shit.
That's all guys want. All guys want is pussy.
Or could it be that the men that only want pussy, the men that only want sex from women, is because that's all that the women have to offer? Because for me, if pussy's all you're offering, pussy's all I want.
Damn! Wow! I'm going straight to the next one. That's
if making money was solely based on hard work, then the people who have the lowest class jobs in society, who work the hardest in terms of labor, they would be making the most money. But we're not seeing that. We're seeing the actual opposite, that people who are working the hardest in terms of labor and sweat equity are making the least amount of money.
Okay, so let me just say this before I even go any further with this chick right here. I have to agree with the first part of what she's saying. I do not think, upon reflection, that hard work is either a necessary or a sufficient condition for you to be successful or materially wealthy. All this hard, you gotta work hard to get the money and all of this. I mean, I get it, but it's not necessarily the case. Some people can get money easily. It's not really like something that they have to work hard, super hard at. Whereas some people might have to work harder or whatever in order to attain the same level of success as others. Some people might work hard and attain no success at all. Now, where she starts to derail, to me, is when she starts to get into the law of attraction shit, which I think is some metaphysical mumbo jumbo. I think it's absolute nonsense. That's just my opinion.
So here's the point that I'm trying to make. When you walk around believing that money can only come to you through a means of how hard you work and how much you prove yourself and how much you're doing, you are going to subconsciously create obstacles, delays, and challenges. The universe is willing and ready to send you whatever you need.
Bullshit. That's absolute fucking bullshit. The universe is gonna just fucking unfold and send you whatever you need. Come on, man. Like, that law of attraction shit to me is some garbage, man. But anyway.
Because it loves you unconditionally.
The universe loves you unconditionally. Come on, man. Stop the cap, bro.
Out struggle and sacrifice. But if you're vibrating that receiving this money is going to come through sacrifice or struggle, then the universe is also going to send you some of that. You are a creator with God-given free will.
That shit is incomprehensible and nonsensical to me at the end. Now, the first portion of what she had to say, I agree with. I don't think that hard work is either a necessary or a sufficient condition for success. However, saying that all you need to do is have the right attitude, have a good mindset, think positively, and then, the universe, because it loves you unconditionally, it's just gonna bestow you with all you need. Come on, man. Cut the bullshit out. That's just bullshit. But anyway, man, I ain't got but like 4 or 5 more minutes of this. I'm trying to get into it.
This is a day in the life of a childless man. In the morning, I wake up to the alarm of unbearable feelings of glorious loneliness. From that point, I do whatever I want, because not having kids empowers me to stay an immature child myself. With my coffee, I write in my journal to remind me how the world does in fact revolve around me. At noon, I award myself 10 virtue signaling points for not having kids. just like the globalists want. In the afternoon, I treat myself to red light therapy to help strengthen my narcissism at the cellular level. Then I enjoy reading about Marxism and all the benefits of destroying the nuclear family. So good. And before bed, I count my money and think about how it's the true source of happiness. Those idiots with kids are missing out. I would cry myself to sleep, but I'm a man, so I repress my emotions instead. It's amazing how much meaning you can miss out on when you set your life up to make everything about you. And that's the day in the life of a childless man.
Oh, man, I put that out there on purpose, though, man. That dude is funny as fuck to me. He doesn't care about who he fucks with either, man. You understand? He'll go off on anybody, man. He'll ride up and rag on anybody. But here's the thing, man. Like, you know, aren't there, like, let's just talk about this, man. I'll let somebody come in and I'll invite some motherfuckers in and talk about this. I want to see how many. Aren't there some guys in the black manosphere who do this shit, though, to a certain extent? Like, where they're like, I'm a childish man, and so, therefore, I'm a virtuous man. Don't guys, like, in this space do that shit? That's why I put it in here. I was like, damn, like, it's a lot of black guys in the manosphere. Like, well, you know, I'm a childless man. I'm a responsible guy. I'm a good guy. Like, I'm a valuable man. And like, dude, is it the case the guys do this shit, man, in this space? That's just a question, man. I mean, you know, no disrespect. I just, like, a lot of guys, like, I don't have any kids, and so, you know, I'm a high sedity nigger, you know, that type of shit. Like, have you ever heard guys in the space act like that? You know what I'm saying? Or talk like that? Like, it's just, it fucks me up. Anyway, I would like to hear what you got to say about that.
We have to have so many conversations about beauty and beauty standard, because beauty is not just about who desires you, who wants to date you, who wants to fuck you. The repetition of, oh, I like this, I prefer that, it's gotta be this. It is political, because the repetition of the idea of we want this, we like this, we desire this extends everywhere. It extends beyond Bumble, it extends beyond Tinder, it extends to the way people are received in the world, your ability to move through the world safely, your ability to be employed, to have access to safe housing, to care for yourself. Whether or not people feel like you are attractive enough to be in the world dictates so many fundamental things about your existence. So this is why we do have to keep having these conversations about desirability politics, because desirability politics, the beauty hierarchy, is everywhere. It touches everything, especially if you're a woman.
Okay, but like, what are we supposed to do about this, man? Like, I understand aesthetics and how it can have an impact on your life trajectory. Like, let's just face it, man. Beautiful people have access to things that people who are not beautiful don't. It's just a fact, okay? But what the fuck are we supposed to do about this? Like, how are you going to adjust the world to deal with this issue? How are you going to do this? How? I'm just saying, how do you... Now, she's already said before, like, I'm a regular looking chick. I'm not like a 10. You know what I'm saying? She already knows she's not like a super hot chick. She knows that. She knows she's not. And shout out to Roderick Jackson for becoming a member of the Green Gorilla channel, man. I appreciate that, man. Your support, it really actually helps me out, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Every time I get a new member, it's special, man. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. From the bottom of my heart, you deserve a round of applause for the cause. Thank you. Again, man, like the video, man. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Consider a donation if you like the content. You know what I'm saying? That's how this shit works, man. But anyway, you can't, like, there are some things that you can redress in terms of justice. And, you know, like, am I arguing that, you know, like, the ugly people shouldn't have access to good health care and jobs? No, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is there's certain features and factors of social life that you can't make political. There's certain things that, you know, fall outside of the domain of justice. Now, it could be that you could say, okay, well, you can't discriminate against me on, you know, whether or not you consider me to be a 10, a knockout, versus, you know, somebody who's regular looking. Like, I can't, but I wouldn't do that anyway, because to me, that would be superficial, okay? That's just my opinion, okay? But shout out to somebody just hit me up. What's the new thing with StreamYard without putting like coloring into the donations, man? It's throwing me off, man. I don't like it. If somebody knows how to modify the program or something like that, or the website in order to bring it back to how it was, let me know, because I don't like this new shit. It's throwing me off. Like, this is where I agree with Sowell. And I'm talking about Thomas Sowell. I don't necessarily agree with what he has to say about economics or, you know, redressing, you know, the injustices related to slavery and Jim Crow and things of this nature. But one thing I'm saying is, how far will you take the redressing of what you consider to be injustice? Like, are you on a quest for cosmic justice? So that's a book that Thomas Sowell wrote, and it had an impact on me. You know, the quest for cosmic justice. Like, you want to make everything right in the universe. Like, lady, you're fucking like a 5 or a 4. It just is what it is. Like, the top of the top pick of men you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. Now, like, I mean, you know what? Like, just think about this shit. I want you to think about this, right? What if men went around arguing that there was injustice in the universe based upon the size of their dicks, man? And everywhere they went, they made appeals to people about, you know, how it wasn't fair that, you know, like how they get treated in terms of the size of their dicks. To me, that's what this is the equivalent of. Like, what can you do about it? This is what you have. You can't do anything about it. It's what you're stuck with. You can't move beyond it, past it. You can't get over it or under it. It is what you've been provided. You've been allotted a body by the universe. And in and of itself, it is good. Now, I can't... To me, that's like hate. It's hating politics to me, man. That's hating politics to me, man. That's hate. That's hating. That's envy politics to me. That's how I perceive that. Like, people are going to be treated differently based upon a whole set of features that lie outside of their control. Like, for example, people who look better are going to get treated better to a certain extent. It is what it is. But people who are, you can overcompensate in other ways to gain attention. Like, for example, this Foster woman, she's more articulate than a lot of other women. She's more educated than a lot of other women. So she might get attention in other ways that the other women are not able to get just based upon their looks. So there's different talent indexes that give rise to disparate treatment. But what you can't do is you can't just start fucking leveling treatment. It's not, it'll never happen. It's not gonna happen. Let me get back to this shit, man. I'm about to be done with this, man. Here we go again with this shit.
Black men are out here and the rates are through the roof. They tear us down when we don't communicate and express our thoughts and feelings and sentiments or our vulnerabilities. And then as soon as we talk and express our thoughts and vulnerabilities, we get our ass beat and get torn down for that too. Well, I'm not finna let myself drive me crazy from keeping all this bouncing around in my head. So as long as these interviews are scheduled, motherfucker, I'ma show up and talk.
And that's, to me, that's kind of like what I hear about the black manosphere, man. It's like you niggas is talking about shit we don't want to hear. So be quiet already. Shut up already. Damn. Shut up already. Damn. Be quiet. Don't talk too much. Can't say shit about black women, especially black women. Oh my God, you say something about black women, it's on like a pot of neck bombs. Say some shit about a black woman, everybody, oh, well, you can't say that. My mama, my sister, my wife, my daughter, my mama, my sister, my wife. Let me just make this shit clear for all the guys that use that excuse, man. Like, look, man, you might love your grandmama, you might love your mama, you might love your sister, you might love your daughter, you might love your wife. But quite frankly, man, I don't give a fuck about none of them people, bro. I personally don't give a fuck about your mama, your grandmama, your daughter, your sister, or your wife. You love them. Now, I'm not saying that they deserve disrespect. I'm not saying that, you should hate them. Or despise them. Like, I don't despise them. I don't have disdain for them. But I don't love them like you love them, man. I don't give a fuck about them. Like, this is just the truth, bro. So don't tell me to stop talking because you love your mama and shit, my grandmama. Like I heard some dude, he was a kufi wearing motherfucker, like a pro-black guy, which I'm pro-black myself. So let me get that straight before motherfuckers start saying I'm anti-black. And that I'm calling for black people to be subjected to, genocide or pogroms or some shit like that. I don't advocate for that, okay? Now, there's some people in this space that do. I don't, okay? I don't think it's fair, or I don't think it's like sophisticated to have a whole, set of nomenclatures that deride black men, or even really for real black women for that matter. But I mean, look, I believe everybody should be open to critique, everybody. And nobody should get a pass. And just because you love your wife or your mama or your grandmama or your daughter or your auntie doesn't mean that they should get a fucking pass, man. Fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck about, I don't care about that. So that argument is moot to me. Your mama black. Okay, well your daddy is, and 9 times out of 10, the daddy is black too. You don't have a problem critiquing that motherfucker. No problem at all. No issue at all. I'm leaving the invite one last time. You don't want to say shit to me. But most of you motherfuckers, you don't like to talk to me. You talk to all these other motherfuckers. You go around on their channels and panel up fast as a motherfucker. Breaking your neck and shit. Like you about to motherfucking bust a blood vessel. You get into their chats and shit and you know, onto their panels and shit. But my whole thing is, I heard some pro-blacks motherfuckers say, you know what, the safest part of my life when I was sitting on my grandmama's lap. I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck, man. Dude, I don't give a fuck how much you love your grandmama, man. So because you love your grandmama, I can't say shit about women in general or about societal issues that men might have with women in general. I can't say it because you love your mama or your wife or your daughter. Anyway, man, look at this shit right here. I had to leave. This is the last short, but this is a particularly disturbing short. Very disturbing. And it's from the same woman who talked about aesthetics or what you could consider to be lookism, beautyism, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's really actually aesthetics, okay? Arguments surrounding justice related to aesthetics. But this shit right here, this is problematic to me, man. Just listen to this shit.
It doesn't matter what my relationship status is. It doesn't matter who I'm laid up with that night. I know that no one is going to invest more in keeping me alive than other Black women, even if I'm madly in love, head over heels, smitten, baby talking on the phone. I know as I walk through the world, no one is going to care more, do more, show up more consistently for me than other Black women. That's what I know for sure.
Man, let me go. That shit right there, like, to me, this is okay. And so what's problematic about it is this. So you want to talk about mamas, aunties, sisters, nieces, daughters, and all of this shit. So you mean to tell me that, like, a random woman on the street is gonna come to your aid and ride for you and have more investment in you than your daddy is, than one of your brothers is, than your son is, than your uncle is, than your nephews are? Come the fuck on, man. BGS, man. We know one motherfucker fucks with me. What's up, BGS? What's cracking with you, bro?
Ain't nothing to you. I ain't afraid of you.
Hey, man, the motherfuckers be acting like they scared of me or something.
They
man.
are
Like,
scared of you, man. You got two sides, man. You got the street side and you got the PhD to go with it. So how they gonna fuck with you? How they gonna really fuck with you?
Yeah, well, you know, yeah, one side ain't convincing, the other one might be a little more convincing, huh?
I don't know, man. You know, I call them the educated fours, man. You know, they want to be the beauty queens. You know, they want the same kind of treatment that say an 8, 9, or 10 get. Baby, you ain't gonna get it. Okay, you're a 4.
It ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It'll never happen.
Yeah, you got to go in the club because you smart and you got money. You got to pay for your drinks. It is what it is.
Like, look, I know that, you know, I consider myself to be like a 6 myself. So I'm just saying I'm an average dude.
Yeah.
That's me, how I'm going to perceive myself and how I put myself out there.
Yeah, most guys do. Yeah.
I'm not going to be out there thinking that, you know, just by fiat, like I deserve the baddest bitch all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot for it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have a problem with shooting for shit. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
You might get lucky.
Hey, look, I don't have a problem. Like, you got to tell me no.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, if you tell me no, I'm not heartbroken by it. I'm not offended.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, oh, you fucked around and missed out on a live experience.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna, losing no sleep over it or be contemptuous of the chick about it.
Boys and men get used to it. Okay, you grow up that way. Okay, it's competitive. You know where you fit in the pecking order, and at some point, as a man, as a male, you got to you have to be good with it. You have to accentuate the points that you do have. Women are not like that. Okay, they especially smart women. They think that their money and their intelligence is gonna make up for their beauty. It don't. Okay, that's the world. Okay.
And- and-
Go ahead.
yeah. Now it could make up some shit for a man.
Yeah. Well,
Like
because
money, like to a woman.
yeah,
Okay, this is the equivalent for a woman. Okay, so a woman who don't look all that great in the face but got a fat ass,
yeah,
it makes up some, don't it?
some, yeah, some.
It don't
Some.
make up everything,
But it
but
makes
you can tolerate it and be like, okay, she ain't the best looking chick, but damn, her body is out of
Yeah,
this world.
she got a butterface, but but the rest makes up for it.
Cause it's some women out here who look regular in the face,
Mm-hmm.
but her ass made her turned her into a 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you put the same face on a bean pole, then you're gonna give her a 6.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of these chicks going around getting plastic surgery and shit, because they know that this is a body part that they can artificially enhance, and it'll give them some cachet in the game off the rip. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they do that.
It's a cheat code. It is what it is. It's a cheat code. Everybody trying to get an advantage, especially when women. And my spiritual teacher told me this a long time ago, about 30 years ago, right? Okay, attention is food to a female.
Yeah.
Attention is sex, money, and all that kind of stuff is important, but the biggest, most the oxygen they breathe most is attention. I noticed that with my daughters. Okay, with my sister, my daughters, right? They start seeking attention at 10 years old. They start seeking male attention. They try to get as much of it as they can. They don't necessarily want sex, but they want attention. And that's really what they're crying for. You take somebody like Kim, right? I went to Harvard. I'm smart. Might have been top of my class in high school, whatever, right? I walk into a club, okay, heads ain't gonna turn. I'm sorry. And you get this dumb chick from the projects that can't put two sentences together. She walks in, well, she gonna get the attention that Kim wants. Your education is not gonna bring you that kind of attention, baby. It is what it is. I don't care how much you want it. And that's what they're crying about because she's a millennial and they're raised on every kid gets a trophy, which is something I hated bringing up my own kids. Okay, every kid gets a trophy, and
Yeah,
she
that's some
thinks
bullshit.
it's some bullshit. So she raised in this equity, equality, feminism shit that because I have an education, I'm supposed to be equal to this 10 that's walking in the club. It don't work that way.
Yeah, man. This is how I look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a different set of qualities and characteristics that make them attractive or useful in society.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can't control your fuck-a-meter.
No.
That's not. I mean, you to a certain extent, there are certain things you can do to enhance what you do have.
Yeah.
In order to make yourself more fuckable, but like ultimately, that's just the luck of the lottery. That's the natural lottery. It's what nature has dispensed to you. And let me just say this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that, just because, like there's this color high, because a lot of women like to talk about the color hierarchy and all this kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and there is in certain circumstances there is especially in the elite, amongst the elite black bourgeoisie, there's a color hierarchy. There is no question about it, right? If you don't look like an AKA and you're not at 8, 9, or 10, you're not gonna get a Masters of the Universe. You're just not. Okay, it is what it is.
Yeah, I can get that. But there's some badass dark chicks out here, man.
There are some badass dark chicks, but they're not gonna get the same. They're not gonna get the same kind of guy at that level that a light skinned chick with the passes the paper sack
bag
test and the comb test. Okay, you're not gonna get the same kind of results. You're not. I don't care how good you look as a dark chick. Okay, because there is a definitely color hierarchy in that sector. Okay, there is, unless you just happen to be a supermodel There's like a iman or something like that. This transcends all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I get it, man. I personally, like to me, like Kelly Rowland is a pretty chick. Like I mean, Kevin Samuels used to talk about it all the time. She's a bad chick.
She's a pretty chick, but amongst the elite, guess who gets the nod? Is Kelly Rowland or Beyonce?
It's something to that BGS. Black women are some of the biggest hypocrites on the planet. And thank you, G with the PhD, for allowing me up, man. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, BGS, and other brother on the panel.
And tell them, BGS, man, put something in the pot, man. These motherfuckers man.
Well,
I'm gonna come back around with you.
Last time I campaigned, man, you told me, okay, you gotta dial it back a bit. So I'm dialing it back. But hey, you know what? The taxes in effect. Somebody said they paid their tax already. So
yeah, be about peace and pleasure did pay his tax.
Yeah,
he paid his tax.
So hey, you know what?
My birthday coming up too. You motherfuckers being stingy as shit. Fucking over me today, man.
We got almost 150 people watching, man. Hey, y'all throw in $1, man. The dollar, get them some spaghetti money, please.
Damn, can a nigga get to go to motherfucking Buffalo Wild Wings or something? God damn.
Well, go ahead. Y'all hit the cash app or something like that, and buy him dinner or something. But yeah, well, go ahead.
Big Bad.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, black women are some of the biggest hypocrites on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say this is all we have to do is look at the fact that when Simone Biles just got married, who came out attacking her and why?
You know why they attacked her.
And this is the thing. They cry the fact that, quote unquote, that they are the least protected people in the world. But how do we protect them from each other?
Yeah, you know why they attacked her? Because they wanted that football player. She's short and she's not even 5 feet tall, and she got this 6'1" NFL football player, and they don't like it.
But Kevin has spent years telling them why they don't qualify.
Yeah.
And they would not take what he said to heart and put it into practice. That's the only thing I don't know. Well, actually, I'm not even going to say I don't understand, because I do. They don't feel that they have to. The whole adage of "take me as I am" has rooted, and now it's starting to sprout. And the only thing they don't realize is there's nobody there to prune that tree.
Yeah, but who has? Like I said, this trophy generation, right? You see this among the boomers. Boomer chicks kind of knew, they had to bring something else. They kind of stayed in their lane and assortative mating. But the thing is, with the millennials, especially since after Clinton sent all these working class chicks to school, and they've been told, if I get this if I get a bachelor's and I get a semi-corporate job and I'm a high value woman, I deserve this high value 6-figure guy.
Ebony K, perfect example.
Ebony K. I'm actually going to have to do a video on her about if she's a failed 100 octane.
Oh, I see. I was thinking 92 climber.
No, she's a climber. She's a 92 climber trying to be 100 octane, right? Because she's in the entertainment class. What's she shoot for? Did she stay a lawyer? No, she went to the Real Housewives of New York, right? She's trying to jump classes. Anyway,
okay. Go ahead, G.
Housewives of New York. She did do that bullshit.
Look at all the reality shows that she's been on, right? She's climbed out of academia. Like Gigi did this. I think it was 2 weeks ago you did that about intersectionality. And
yes, sir.
You played that about these academics trying to sell out and get into that anchor seat.
It's called the public intellectual. It's like, like trying to transmorph from being, in the academy to being, like this so-called sage.
Yeah.
To where you're able to influence public opinion, not necessarily in the domain of the academy itself, but it's the shit that the French started. This is some French shit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the shit that Jean-Paul Sartre, Michel Foucault, and them group of guys, Simone de Beauvoir, and all of them motherfuckers in France. Like the superstar academician type shit. And you see it in people like Cornel West, Kimberly Crenshaw, Michael Dyson,
Thomas Sowell,
even Walter Williams, Shelby Claude Steele, just to name a few. You know, like the idea like you could become like a talking head.
A talking head, and she's a former beauty queen. I think she was Miss North Carolina, and she's got a degree, and she's an academician, and she's trying to be this public intellectual with a pretty face. So she's trying to jump classes. But that, we'll get into that. I don't want to derail the whole topic. But the thing is, she thinks that she's old because she's pretty, and she's pretty, and she's in this vein because she's trying to jump classes. She's into this public realm. She deserves a master's in the universe like this dude, right? Okay. And to this dude, she's a dime a dozen. She don't believe it,
Man, she 40 though. Like your time is over with.
What did I say about 100 octanes or past 30? You can't get past 30, right? If you got one bus, when you get to 30. You got one. That's the last bus. Sierra did it right. She was 29. So this is the last bus. I'm gonna jump on it.
Yeah,
some black women look so good at 40 that they think that when they get to 45 and 50, they'll still look like they was looking when they was 40, like in their 30s. That shit about to crack. And then your vagina, it is not when you go through the motherfucking menopause stage, it's a wrap.
I'll give you one example, right? Prime example, Nicole Murphy.
Yeah, you go.
Does she look good enough to get a 20-year-old? She sure does. But guess what? She 50. It ain't the same, baby.
Yeah.
And that pussy ain't got the moisture that it had?
The body ain't the same. You know how it is. You know how it is.
Stu, we done cut you off, man. You got to get in here, man.
Yeah, I don't like jumping in and interrupting when people be conversating. But, yeah, true enough, the base instinct of looking at beauty as a standard, it is a natural thing that happens amongst most of the animal kingdom. But Gigi, since you are the academic philosopher, or you went through academia in understanding philosophy, what about Grecian philosophy and how it measures beauty as a standard for humans' work? Can you explain a little bit of that? And whether or not that there's possibility that a lot of the standards that people set today as far as beauty, can it actually be connected to those ideals put forth by those Grecian scholars?
Yeah, so so it's like beauty. It all depends on which one of these persons you're talking about.
Just anyone, inform me. I read on it a little bit, and how they in Grecian philosophy they made it like a virtue, that beauty was a virtue of some sort, and that was how you actually measured the value of a person, which I believe is false. But most people today actually operate off of that. If you could explain that a little bit more.
So yeah, I mean, look, the ancient Greeks, they put a high premium on physical beauty and the human body. And one of the reasons I think we don't is because we kind of perceive because of Christianity, we perceive the body as something negative or something. But even like a Greek philosopher like Plato would do the same kind of thing to a certain extent. But like if you look at ancient Greek culture, they idealized the physical form, where they had various ideas about what was, perfect related to humanity. Okay, so men are usually shown as muscular, athletic. You don't see like big fat ass men on very many Greek sculptures, bro.
Sure don't.
Even Egyptian sculptures, you don't see that shit.
True.
Like, do you see like big fat motherfucking like obese Egyptian statues of kings and scribes and gods? You don't see it. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then also, like the Greeks had a gym culture. Like the whole concept of the gymnasium, it comes from the Greeks.
Right.
Where they train for athletic contests. And it was like a key social institution for them, man. So physical training wasn't just a way to develop your body, but it was also perceived as a way to develop discipline, endurance, which are virtues that are important, right? But like what we like to do is disconnect the body from virtue. So intellectual virtues are like separate from physical virtues for us. But like the Greeks wouldn't make that kind of separation, I don't think. Like most of them wouldn't, okay?
Right. But is it so? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
But is it possible that since, it's Grecian philosophy dominates the thinking of the world or the thinking of the world's people, or the world's people has primarily been educated under Grecian philosophy, is it possible that philosophy is actually influencing the preferences of the majority of the peoples in the world, the perceived preferences? Is it possible?
It's possible, but unlikely. I'm gonna tell you why. Like, to some degree, the white aesthetic, about and like the white aesthetic or the European aesthetic about what's beautiful, what's not, is going to some degree, permeate world culture, just predicated upon, the power structure and the propaganda structure of the world contemporarily. So I'm not going to say that you're not going to have that, okay? Right. But I will say this. People know beauty when they see it.
True.
Like, True. I mean, like, whether it comes with a dark skin, whether it comes, packaged in a short body, an elongated body, people know beauty when they see it. Okay.
Well, now, one question though. Have you ever seen an ugly chick that you thought was sexy?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, of course. But there are different kinds of beauty. Okay, they can just be.
It doesn't make her pretty though.
No, you can say she ugly. She ugly the motherfucker, but something sexy about her.
Well, there's pretty women that
you can have pretty women that aren't
have
sexy.
no sex appeal. Yeah, don't have.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's true too. Go ahead,
That's
Gigi. I'm
brothers
sorry.
always talk about the paper bag. She's butterface, but man, that body is cracked. Because I look at it like this. If we take the phenotype, because this is something you mentioned, Green Gorilla, with Asians, their phenotype is a slender woman. So any woman above a size 2 or 3 is considered morbidly obese in their culture. Conversely, if you look at Black America, we've been conditioned, especially as men, to want our women to be a little heavier. The same thing with European people. They've been conditioned to take their women between a size 4 and a size 6. Now, it's only in the United States of America where our food supply has been tainted, if you will, because we have all these additives, preservatives, and we no longer work physically as we used to do generations ago. So we become morbidly obese as a nation compared to the rest of the world. So our beauty standards are skewed from the beginning anyway. I have this back and forth on Facebook with this guy who consistently posts size 4 women or smaller, which is fine. I don't have a problem with his preference. But then I'm looking at him like, he's a young cat. Because this is what Kevin Samuels used to talk about. If you go back and you look in your mother's and your grandmother's or grandfather's photo album, nobody was bigger than the size 5'6". It just didn't happen because we weren't sedentary people.
Now, this is what I will say, okay? So look, there are reasons for why, the weight index amongst people in America is going up. I mean, there's no strange secret. We went away from eating whole foods to, eating foods that have been manufactured in laboratories and shit, which basically are made in such a way as to keep you eating, right? Like McDonald's, that shit ain't really even food, bro. I mean, it's not whole foods, put it that way. So, like they say when you go in the grocery store, stay on the outside of the grocery store. Yeah. Like if you want to eat healthy, buy shit that is on the fringes, not on the inside where the aisles are. Stay away from the inside aisles, okay?
Yeah, that's very true. I didn't notice that till I heard that, and I looked at the grocery store and I'm like, damn, it is set up to where everything healthy's on the outside. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, so when you first go in, what you're supposed to do is, and my parents always did this shit. Now, I went to you're a young little nigga. You go to the grocery store with your grandmama and your mom and all them motherfuckers because that's where your little ass is going. Okay, so you're following them all around the fucking store. They always on the outside.
Yeah,
that's how we used to shop. Okay, now Negroes go straight to the inside of the grocery store. They go straight for the frozen food section or, the processed food sections. But you're supposed to stay on the outside. The bread, the milk, the cheese, the fish, you know what I'm saying? The poultry, the cow, the pork, even if you're eating some pig, stay on the outside. But all this processed foods and then like all this sugar and shit is making us obese. Now, look, I will say this. I must admit, like, a lot of white guys like women who are slender and shit that look like little boys to me.
Yeah.
Now that's just my opinion, but
and that was a Grecian ideal also. That was a Grecian ideal also.
But there is it's one thing to be, like you can err on. To me, you got to hit the golden mean with this shit. Like some black women are a burger away, bro.
Two burgers over.
Hey man, I remember Puff Daddy telling one of the chicks who was in some group, I forget the name of the group, but it wasn't making the band, but it was another group of girls that he had. And white girl, black girl, and he told the one chick, he was like, look girl, you know what I'm saying, you a burger away. You're a burger away. Yeah. He was trying to get her to slim down because he's like, this, you have to look a certain way on camera.
Yeah,
and you're in a group, you gotta, have the body composition of most of the people in the group.
Because the camera's gonna add like 20 to 30 pounds on you, so you have to be a certain size. Otherwise, you're gonna look fat.
So he was
fine. Yeah.
Look, I like thick chicks, but I also know that thickness really is like it could be borderline obesity. Like you got black women, man, who we think are really normal. They look normal to us. They weigh 180 pounds, man. 5'5", 5'6".
Yeah. But is it possible? Is it possible that the increase in the body weight of a lot of black women could that be connected to the mannish attitudes or the maybe some subliminal want to be more masculine?
Is
that possible?
I got a bunch, because I have, I'm like I said, I have two sides of my family are gynocracy, right? It's just surrounded by them, right? And really what it is food. And basically the taste of food, the access to food, and the ingredients that go in it, right? And the thing is, I got two daughters, right? Trying to get them to lose weight or trying to get the women to lose weight is because they love food. They like to eat. They like to eat all the time, all kinds of stuff. And the variety and the taste, they can't get away from it. They could lose weight if they could get away from it.
This is the problem. This is the problem. I'm sorry to cut you off, Stu, but you
no,
opened
go
up
ahead,
a can
man.
of worms when you started this
it's
shit.
Your thing.
It's your thing. No, but seriously, like it's like this. Black women in America are enculturated into American culture, which it'd be different if they were living on the fucking West Coast, where there's a culture of, okay, we go out and we show our bodies off. Right. Or Miami or some shit like that, where there are beaches.
Yeah.
Okay? So there's this like compulsion culturally for like women to go to the gym. And so that when they get to the beach, they can take it off and show off like their bodies and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, white women do that, yeah.
But like in the South and like, in the inner cities and shit, it's a breeding ground for like contemporary American culture is all about like just consumption. Yeah. And then no exercise. Like it's like a sedentary lifestyle. Where
you know what it is, Gigi? Because coming from, because like I said, my grandmother was, God bless her soul, before she died, she was born in 1910, right? Yeah. So then they're a whole group of sharecroppers on both sides, man. And guess what the biggest issue was back then, them growing up. Even my mother's core growing up, even me growing up as a kid, right? Food, okay, wasn't enough of it,
right?
So they grew up with, they grew up with lack. Okay, I can't, they look at TV, they see, they look at the movies, they see these white people in these big ass banquets eating all this fancy food till they're full and all this kind of stuff, and it kind of built up a cultural desire for food, just basically food, because there was never enough of it. Okay,
yes.
So by the time they get to this generation, now they've flooded with food, all kinds of restaurants and fancy foods from different cultures and quick food, all that kind of stuff, so they can eat as much as they want. Guess what they do? They eat as much as they want.
Yeah.
Most most of black. If you look at what black women dating, right? Is it I'm going to go on a hike or go to the park or go on this adventure? No,
Bitch, we
I
going
want
to
to go to a
eat.
restaurant and eat.
I want to
Yeah.
eat.
I want to eat.
And I want to eat till I pop.
Yeah.
See, look, I had many thick chicks, man. Like, okay, must admit, that recently, like, I saw one of my flames and shit. I mean, this girl was like a red bone, boy, humongous ass, like, no stomach, zero. Everything about this chick was hourglass type. I mean,
When she's young, yeah.
next thing you know, man, I seen her, bro. I was like, oh God, what the fuck happened to that?
She put on cupcake weight.
Perfection. And now I'm looking, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, that's a tough one there.
It hurt because
yeah,
I'm thinking to myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, God damn, man, this bitch was bad as fuck. And now
crying shame.
now it's like, you know, now it's like, you know, and then, you know, but you know, the history, you know, some people, you know, women that you know, you're just gonna be fucking for life or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah, that's the type of chick she is, and that's the type of relationship y'all got. It was that way. It started off that way, and it'll probably end that way, type shit. So, but it wasn't as fun as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? I needed to run up in that. Just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn. You know what I mean? Like, it fucked me up because, you know, the last time I seen this individual, they was looking like that, and then now it's like that. Like, oh, man. You know what I'm saying? But, like, the point is, that's why I try to, man, dude, every day, I try to get on my bicycle, man, and go 5 to 6 miles.
Yeah.
At least. You know what I'm saying? And it's only because black people die because of their diet and their lifestyle, man, and the shit they consume in their bodies, bro.
Yeah, diabetes made me change the way I eat.
That is why we die. That's why we get, you know, like heart disease, I think, is killing us more than anything in terms of, like, killing each other, okay? But I'm just talking about, like, you know, the next thing, okay? Heart disease, I think, is the #1 killer of black people.
Yeah, cardiovascular disease overall is a #1 killer of black people. It's not even close.
So get out and move. You gotta move. Like there's something like, I don't know if you ever heard of it, it's called the philosophy of sport. Where the dictum of it is, if you don't move, you lose. Entropy sets in if you don't move your body.
That's true.
Move your fucking body, man. Now, I mean, there's no way to delay the ultimate, you know, fate that every living organism is going to have to undergo. But there is a way for you to, you know, be graceful. And the Greeks, you know, I mean, to them, it's been proven scientifically, like there's a connection between intelligence and your physicality. Yeah. There's also a connection between your moral virtue and your physicality. Now, I'm not saying, I mean, of course there are, you know, like exceptions to this, but I mean, people who like tend to be, you know, physically active, they tend to have more discipline than people who are not. Emotional discipline in terms of being able to fulfill goals and objectives. So, you know, our bodies are deeply interconnected to the way we think, the way we imagine, you know, like, so some people say when you wake up in the morning, you should start exercising instead of necessarily taking coffee. You can get the same impact and effects to charge your day forward. But what we do is we rely on the drugs and shit instead of the natural precursors to the chemicals in our body that would perform the same functions.
Would you think that society has actually taught people to view the world in that way? Contrary to, you know, the Grecian virtues that you just mentioned, do you think the society has actually taught people or influenced people to be sedentary for the purposes of consumption?
Bruh, the society is telling you everywhere around you is a sign. Big as fucking day. Go on the highway and see how big the signs are. We got billboard signs. Come get McDonald's. We got this sale today. Come to Whataburger. Get your In-N-Out burger. Come to White Castle. Come to Papa Do's. come here, come there, come everywhere. It's like you don't see, like signs like go to, like the grocery store. Like when's the last time you seen a grocery store billboard?
And you know what the funny thing
not to
about
say that they don't exist. They do exist, but not in the same number. And look, just think about this shit. If you want to move from one place to another, you get in a car. That's another sedentary form of motion. If you want to go up or down inside of a building, you don't go upstairs. You go up an elevator or an escalator. Okay?
Ease and comfort. Ease and comfort.
You don't have to carry shit anymore. People carry it for you. Like, I mean, and not to say that, rich people didn't always have, bellboys and concierges and shit to help them. But I mean, like, goddamn. Like, we don't move anymore, man. Like and look, black people used to have to move. Right. It was a requirement of their existence.
Sure enough.
You don't move, motherfucker, and pick that cotton, you're dead.
Okay? And to follow that up, G, recently I started looking at NFL commercials. I don't ever recall a Play 60 commercial when I watched football as a kid. The first thing we did as kids when we got home was first thing, get off your school clothes. Make sure your homework is done and take your ass outside and play. That doesn't happen anymore. And I think that's also in conjunction with the rise in juvenile diabetes. Because when I was a kid, juvenile diabetes didn't exist. Fat kids as teens didn't exist because we went outside and we played.
Yeah, but I knew some fat kids when I was little, but I ain't that old. But I'm getting there. I'm 50. I will be 52 May 30th.
Oh, so yeah, we're about the same age. I'm 51. I just didn't see them. I mean, and we played basketball, football, soccer, crazy tackle. We were outside until they made us come home. Now,
shit, we was outside too, man. Look, I was outside. All I did was stay outside. Yeah. We played hide and go seek. We played tag. Yeah. We played kill the man with the ball. We played football, baseball, basketball. We ran around the corner. Now we did go to the arcade. Not to say that we didn't fuck with we played. But see, back when I was young, you had to put money in the arcade until they started coming out with the Nintendos, the Ataris, the ColecoVisions and shit like that. But I still game. I put out a gaming video today. Okay, so but kids don't go outside like they used to. I think it became like a concept that it's dangerous to go outside when all them black kids start getting killed in Atlanta and shit.
1982, the Atlanta child murders. I remember that well because in Buffalo, the area that I'm from, Niagara Falls, we had the 22 caliber killer. So they were running about the same time. So yeah, we were ultra careful about messing around with people we didn't know.
But so we used to go trick-or-treating and shit, and then all of a sudden you can't go trick-or-treating no more and all this kind of shit. Like, I mean, I used to love being outside. I'm glad that I did spend time outside, but a lot of these kids, man, they don't fucking do nothing. Girls used to be active when I was a kid. They used to play with us. Motherfuckers used to run with us. Okay? They used to play football with us.
Yeah.
And tag and all that shit. We played catch the girl, kiss the girl, all kind of shit when we was kids. Okay? And, that's some of the greatest experience I had as a kid. You know what I'm saying? With like fucking around with the opposite sex as a kid. Like being awkward, they coming on to you and all this kind of shit. It was like, fun. But now you got kids that don't go outside at all. And their parents tell them don't go outside, especially if they're girls, because a lot of these women are transient, man. They go from one apartment to the next. They don't know who the fuck is in their environment. Yes. They don't like the communities are declining. The families, like when I was a kid, families knew other families, bro.
Right. It was
what I'm saying? Like
kids outside.
Them the butlers. Go over there and she gonna give you this.
Right.
You go over there and bring it back. And then when you go there, they don't just make you stand outside. You come in the house.
Yeah.
And then you talk to their kid. Hey, how you doing, Derek? What's going on, man? Man, I ain't doing nothing. What's up with you? Blah, blah, blah. And now we used to go on trips and shit. Like go out of town with each other. My mother went to New Orleans. We always went with the butlers. Not always, but a lot of times they would join us. Or go across the street and go get this. Get some of that from Miss Mary and them over there. Or go over Barbara house over here. And I mean, everybody knew everybody. Now, you go to the hoods, man, motherfuckers don't even know each other. They don't even speak. They never go anywhere with each other. They don't have backyard parties or nothing. They don't share plates of food, nothing.
Yeah, that shows how the self-hate psychology that most black people had became more entrenched over all these years. So in fact, to where you want to really separate from one another. But, you know, as far as like the beauty standards, you know, maybe in seeing how, you know, a lot of people nowadays are so, you know, disconnected when it comes to as far as relationships. Do you think it would be a good idea for people to maybe look more inward on themselves and maybe try and experience other things to find out what they actually have as a preference? Do you think that would be a good thing for people to do?
I just
instead
think people
of just
need to
going
get
with
outside of the house. People need to just get outside. I can't. Like, I don't know. I can't tell people what to do. But the culture we have now is like just sit inside. That's the culture we have. The culture is even like with the even before like COVID and all that shit. People still was inside. Like people were like stay inside. Like I was dating this chick, man, and she had a daughter. That little girl, man, would not go outside and move at all, man. Walking was a problem. Like if we was outside doing some shit, physical activity, like this is you got to get in shape, motherfucker. Yeah. All this lazy ass shit and all this fainting ass bullshit is some bullshit. Get your ass up, man. We got to get up. I don't want to walk that far. I don't want to do this. I don't want to move like that. Man, fuck all that. That's why you big as a house.
Yeah.
And you ain't even 20 years old. So if you big as a house and you ain't 20, then what the fuck is going to happen when you're 25, 30, 35, 40?
Get worse.
And then you can't tell them shit. Because as soon as you say something, what you saying about my this? What you saying about my that? What you say about what? And you can't say that about this. I'm like, man, fuck all that, man. You want a motherfucker to just be quiet, but when you go to the doctor gonna tell you what the real is. Mm-hmm. When motherfuckers go for checkups and shit, and soon when I went to the checkup, exactly. When they went to the checkup, the shit I was saying was not okay. Now I can't say nothing about it though, right? I'm supposed to be quiet now, right? Yeah. Even though I was the one telling you. Now everybody want to go outside. Like, we need to walk and run now. Fuck all that. I've been walking and running. I've been hitting the gym. But you don't want to do it with me,
a lot of black women don't understand consequence.
And also, look, the one thing we need to stop doing, man, look, I know a lot of women want to compete with guys, man, but like on average, you're not as physically astute as a male, man. Just as a woman.
Never will be. So
stop trying to compete. I mean, but there's some fit women out here though. Like it's fucking Olympian athletes out here that are women. And them motherfuckers can go. Okay? Like look at them women who run track and shit. Them women out there getting it, dog. Like they are more physically fit than the average, man. Mm-hmm. Like, just to be honest. Now, whether they can whip his ass is a whole different subject matter altogether. But a lot of women, like if they see a man exercising and going out here and doing shit, they don't even like that. They get upset at that. Like, what the fuck you want a fit nigga, but then you don't like the nigga showing off.
And let me take a crack at that. First thing we got to look at is black culture. Black culture doesn't push exercise like G is saying. So even if you go in places where there's access to beaches, like BGS was saying, California or Miami, who is noticeably absent from those places?
Well, BGS can tell you about that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Cali.
You can. All you got to do is watch film. You can watch people that shoot live shots at beaches. You're not going to see any black women there.
Not really, because of the water and the hair.
No, I was going to get to that.
Crazy, bro. Bro, that's so crazy.
It might be the bikinis too.
Imagine we have gotten to the point where we can't even enjoy the outside. Because motherfuckers is worried about their goddamn hair.
Well, you got to remember how much women spend. The average black woman spends like $300 a month on their hair. The average.
Bro, man, fuck that shit, man. And here's the thing.
And a comb costs
I
$2.99.
always say, look, it might matter to some Negroes, man. Some Negroes might be worried about their women's hair. Personally, my education makes me a little bit different, okay? That's just me. First of all, I've been educated Afrocentrically, for one. For two, I'm educated, like in terms of like I'm past, I got a graduate degree, okay? A terminal degree. So I'm like, fuck your hair. You know what I'm saying? Like find a style that fucks with your hair the way you are. And then we ain't gotta worry about this shit. Like all this old weave and all this goddamn, like all this perm shit, it's fucking killing me. But like, if you tell a chick this shit, the first thing she gonna say is, "You just trying to make me ugly." Mm-hmm. Bitch, you fucking feel like you ugly because you don't like who you are.
The thing about it though,
but bro, this is some major shit.
Yes,
to me.
it is. It is.
Because but first of all, if a woman, this is my experience. If you ever get that kind of feedback from a chick, leave that bitch immediately, bro.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, if a chick ever tell you just saying that so you want me to look ugly so nobody else will want me, that means she fucking somebody. Be out, dog.
Yeah.
Be out. I'm telling you right now, I know from experience, dog. Leave that bitch alone.
Yeah, she's still on the hunt.
The thing about it is this though, and this is what I was referencing with the culture. If we go back to when we were kids, Saturday afternoons, what did the mother do with her daughter when it came to her hair? Hot comb,
cleaning up the house.
Hot comb, grease that scalp. They would have their mother and daughter talk. We see it with black swimmers in the Olympics. If they know they're going to swim and they're competing in an event, they will wear a swimming cap. These women, flat out put it, they're too damn lazy to do it. The weavers they go to because, quote unquote, it cuts down time. Caucasian women spend hours doing their hair. I know because I deal with them damn near exclusively. They're not making excuses. They may go get some type of synthetic hair, but it's not completely what they do. So they'll spend 45 minutes, an hour a day on their hair. Black women don't want to do that. And it runs in conjunction with them not wanting to exercise. It runs in conjunction with them not wanting to cook. It runs in conjunction with them not wanting to do anything they don't feel they have to. Ergo, it comes back around to that, accept me as I am. And they see that brothers are now making a mass exodus and they want to complain about it. It's like, no, don't complain. Get in there, throw them blows. You want to fight for us? Fight for us.
Yeah,
a lot of black women, a lot of black women might actually be like even with men and as far as clothes and things like that, maybe the hair and the styles of dress is a way of engaging in superficial consumerism and evaluating a person's work by that. So maybe all of the things that you see, women doing with the hair, like I said, the clothes, the BBLs and the breasts, and the men with the flashy cars and clothes, jewelry, and all that is a way of material consumption as a means of displaying one's work, one's personal work. Like how they say peacock. The peacock with the most beautiful feathers is going to get the woman.
Well, they brought it to
I don't know how it
American
is
way.
for the female side.
That's what the American way is value through consumerism. The only problem is
could that really
biological drive?
So is that really our culture? Is that really our culture?
It's our culture because
considering our condition.
Yes, absolutely. Because let's look at it like this. If we go to Africa, we don't see that because that's not their culture and it's not pushed upon them. That's why let's look at it like this. If you take social media and TV away from people, what is the number one source of information? Because we don't read as a people. We don't listen to people like BGS and the G with a PhD. We don't listen to the intellect of our culture. So who do we listen to? We listen to the bottom feeders, and the bottom feeders aren't feeding us pertinent information. They're not telling us how to get money. They're not telling us how to maintain wealth. They're not telling us how to stay in shape and live for longevity. No.
That depends on who you consider a bottom feeder. I've known some cats that was in the street that was very intelligent.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they don't have the ear of the masses in the way that social media does. That's why I said if you take that away, who are they listening to?
Because see this motherfucker here, man, Ron, man. Ron,
Dr.
You gotta
Neil.
tell people we
Dr. Neil's our not shit, sir.
What's wrong? Popped up in this hole, man.
Because I mean, I'm fortunate enough to where I have brothers that are educated, and when I say educated, masters, no doctorates, and myself, I've been to college. I don't have a degree per se, but I'm intelligent enough to understand that there's some shit that I just don't need to deal with. That's part of the reason why I checked out of black culture about 30 years ago. I don't have television in my home. Only thing I watch on TV are DVDs.
Check this out. Check this shit out. How is that, man? Look, he said the rappers stay with personal trainers.
Yeah,
and they better.
They're entertainment. They have to.
Yeah, they better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I had one my goddamn self, but I mean, you know, I know what to do, but not that I always am motivated to do it, but I know what to fucking do. Like, I did abs today. Man, shit hurt like a motherfucker, man. But you know, I went on ahead and did it. Like, damn, let me go ahead and do this.
Yeah,
I got my bicycle ride in today too. You know what I'm saying?
90% of rappers and singers and entertainers like that, they have a very short window, so they have to maximize it. So you know, you got to take care of the body. You got to look good on stage because that's where your money comes from. So
LL 50 Cent.
You know, we think that rappers and rappers like that are just street dudes that got lucky. No, they're entertainers. They're at a different level. They have to look good, they have to smell good, they have to take care of themselves, just like actors or any other kind of entertainer does.
They got to get their teeth right. You see what Glorilla little ugly ass did with her teeth? She went and got a tooth job soon as she can get one.
Yeah, she had to. Yeah, you got to.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all
you
about
get your teeth
crafting an
right.
image.
You gotta make sure your hair done right, your nails done right. If you're a lady in the industry, you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is.
That's where your money comes from, and you know, impressing and entertaining people, and the image has to be right.
He said, "Look, Diddy was one of my clients." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and what's in the industry came out to the streets.
Yes.
What's in the media is in the streets.
Well, the thing is, they've always crossed. It's always been cross pollination. What's in the streets goes to the industry, and they monetize it, and then it becomes mainstream, and then it starts over again. It always starts in the streets first. You know, if you look at any kind of entertainment, whether it's acting, whether it's writing, whether it's music, it starts in the streets first, and then moves its way into mainstream.
Right.
This is something I want to show y'all though. Hold on. Again, like this is what I left off with. So y'all kind of focused and hinged on the aesthetic part. Yeah. But this to me, this is the thing. I thought Ron was gonna fuck with us, but I guess he doing some shit right now. But this is the thing that fucked me up more than anything else.
Ron got a candygram going on. You know what that is.
Yeah, he might. Yeah. So check this shit out. No, but check this shit out.
Relationship status is, it doesn't matter who I'm laid up with that night. I know that no one is going to invest more in keeping me alive than other black women, even if I'm madly in love, head over heels, smitten, baby talking on the phone. I know as I walk through the world, no one is going to care more, do more, show up more consistently for me than other black women. That's what I know for sure.
Then she should be a lesbian. She need to be a lesbian.
Oh no, she don't want to be a lesbian because that's even worse.
Pregnant for the
that's even worse.
I really want to bring a child into this world.
That's not what I wanted to do. That.
Oh no, that was goofy. That just shows you how sick the world has become.
But the reason, look, y'all missed the first part. I'm not gonna go through none of this shit no more. But the whole point is,
seen them.
Yeah. So but. That last part with that, let me put it on her then, so we don't lose focus and shit. Cause that shit is kind of jarring, man, to see a motherfucking man like that.
And a white man too. It's not a lot of black guys, but a white man.
That's what it's all about.
But they
use black faces to get that freedom.
You're gonna accept me, damn it, you know that type of shit, you know. But like, she's like, I like dick, but don't matter how much fucking I like dick, I'm gonna roll with these chicks first before I roll with my man.
She broadcasting, but it's that same chick that if you got a decent looking man, your partners be trying to take him. So the women are always frenemies.
But you know, like but to me that's the promotion of the gynocracy. That's to me that's the promotion of.
Yeah,
we don't really value men. I don't value men. I don't value men. Like men, to me, you know what that is? The equivalent of G's up, hoes down.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yep, that's the
But
same thing.
it's the female shit.
sisterhood.
G's up, hoes down.
It's a
Or how you,
sisterhood.
or how you saying virtue signal, but that virtue is, put the black man, or keep the black man in a certain place or position
Yeah.
as not actually mattering unless it's for your own benefit.
Yeah. Well, black men.
That's what she's saying.
That's the CompuServe model, right?
Yeah, I was going to
What
say
are you
that
there
has
So
a
for?
that's
historical component
The
to it.
resources and sex. That's what you're there for.
Yeah,
They don't care what you
right. So one can say what she's speaking of right now at this moment is like scientific racism in a sense.
No,
That's
it's,
scientific
to me it's
racism with
really
a black
simple,
woman's
man.
face.
It's like my brother. It's like my man Kalen right here said. And shout out to him. Hold on. Let me do this shit though. Let me before I lose sight of what I need to do. Okay. So, because when we put the press on these motherfuckers and gave them the armbar, they started donating some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me just shout them out. Shout out to Kalan. Okay. Shout out to Holt, Herbert Lewis, John B, and T Fitness for you. He just came. He kicked in, and like the other brothers who kicked in, Ron O'Neal. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
gas money.
Yeah, he said the gas, man.
Gas
Man,
money.
this nigga here, man. That motherfucker came in.
For the short bus.
Yeah, man.
1980 rates.
It runs. It runs
99
on
cents a
gas.
gallon.
Shout out to Be About Peace and Pleasure. He hit me up again, and then it was a string of guys. Passport OG hit me up. No One hit me up. Jason Hills hit me up. Dub Will hit me up. Shout out to him. He said we're gonna do for the sisters in the dark skin delegation. Shout out to Lanisha. Lanisha Cole. You know who's a bad dark chick, man?
Who's that?
Coco Jones, man. She young too, but she bad motherfucker.
Yeah, she got, but you know what? She gotta get in the gym, man. She gotta stay slim, because if she don't, man, she gonna explode. I was just looking at
I ain't never seen her that big though, but I mean,
Ooh, she gotta get thick, man. She young too, man. She gotta watch that weight. Stay away from that food.
Shout out to Show Me, you know what I'm saying? But right now, I mean, all I can do is look at her right now.
She went from bad to all right to, come on, baby. You like Puffy said, you one cheeseburger away. Come on now.
Hold on, now, which Coco Jones you talking about?
I was just looking at her when she was young, when she was really young and like a teen and maybe early 20s. She's model like, right? Now she's starting to get thick. That ass starting to get spread out.
I'm talking about this Coco Jones. It might be more than one Coco Jones.
No, until she's getting older. Okay, she's in her 20s. They don't let her get 30. Okay, she
right,
have
true.
to watch
Yeah. I mean, hey,
watch it.
Let me see if I can find this little motherfucker.
A lot of black women got to stop stress eating. People in general.
That's what
that's genetics, and you got to work with your genetics.
Yeah, and then they depend upon the culture.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
to keep them.
I was fat most of my life with a slow metabolism.
Yes, and that's what becomes
I had to learn that late.
Because if you haven't had kids and you gain that weight, just imagine what you might look like if you do have a kid and you gain weight. You're never going to lose it. Because my mother had 11 kids.
Yeah.
My mother was never heavier than 140 pounds.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, my mom was slim as well. You know what I'm saying? Like my OG was slim, man. You know what I mean? That's just how she was. You know what I mean? And my grandmother. I can't really, my grandmother wasn't big either, you know what I'm saying? She's just some petite ladies, man.
They didn't eat that much,
Right.
They didn't eat that much. But now they do. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they do. Yeah, but
Yeah,
Coco,
so you gotta feed the emotions.
Coco gotta watch herself, man. Coco Jones gotta watch herself.
I thought you was gonna put a picture up, Gigi. I want to see what y'all was talking
I'm trying to
about.
find some shit.
I'm gonna get back to what G with the PhD was talking about in terms of what the young lady was saying. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and the brother was talking about that you're not gonna see a group of women with Glocks sitting around protecting themselves. And he mentioned the Breonna Taylor situation. He said they're looking for a man to protect them because ultimately it's gonna be us, as it is with any society where the men protects everybody and everything. It was like that with Tulsa. The brothers were former military, World War I veterans. So when the alarm went out, they were honored.
You ever seen when it said when a woman's having a problem with her man, I'm gonna call my sisters and stick them on you?
Right.
Yeah, she's
so that's
cute.
Coco
Ever
Jones
heard
right there.
that?
That's her right there.
That's her. Yeah.
You got one with her without makeup. That's what matters. Oh yeah, okay, that picture right
No,
there.
no,
She
no,
is
she's
sexy.
cute. Yeah, she's
Yeah, that
cute.
one back
Very cute.
there. That what was S.O. Bloom.
And she's also 5'10". See them legs?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she a
Yeah,
Them
okay.
bad
legs?
Yeah,
motherfucker, man.
She's
She
bad.
young though, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
she's
see a
young.
whole
She's
lot
a
of
bad motherfucker
sisters
though.
like her.
That's a bad dark motherfucking badass chick.
Is, but she gotta take care of that body though. She
And she can
can't.
sing
Yeah,
like a
she is.
motherfucker too. She ain't no auto tune singing motherfucker.
Yeah, no makeup is what matters.
But
That's
see,
how you tell her
I
what
don't
she
know who
is
she
for
is
real.
because, like I said, I've checked out of black culture
There you go.
years
Yeah,
ago.
she's a pretty woman.
These people coming online, I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, yeah.
See, plenty of
And
There's
sisters
some
look
I've
like her
heard
and
of.
better.
yeah, she's really cute. But thing is, like I said, she got to work with them genetics, man. She tall, she got a body, but thing is, she gotta stay on that diet. You know.
Yeah, that's why the phrase know thyself" has so much meaning to it. People
Hmm.
should learn to know themselves more, so that way they can know what they can and cannot eat, what they can and cannot do, how they should and should not think.
Hmm.
But
That's
yeah,
very important.
to me, this is what I say, right? And I don't like colorism, even though my mother and my grandmother were light skinned. Like if I could find pictures, man, and pull this shit up, man, and I could show you what my parents look like, what my mother and my grandmother look like, man. Let me see.
I mean, but all in Americas have a colorism hierarchy. It's just the way it is. We emphasize it more here, but the thing is, it exists in all of the Americas. I don't care where you go.
That's a byproduct of white supremacy. My grandmother too. My grandmother too was a white woman. So was my great aunts, but it wasn't white per se, but white skin. So when you showed that picture a long time ago, Gigi, I was like, wow, that's very common, very common.
I mean, they were the buffer class. And basically, they set them up as the buffer class, as the hierarchy of black people.
So let me put this shit on display. Let me see. Can you see this shit? It's okay. You can begin to see it. So I'm gonna show you. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna make sure I can show this the right way instead of a fucked up way. Where the fuck is it, man? I hate having to dig through this bullshit shit, man. Okay, so that's my OG right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Light skinned lady. She lighter than I am. You know what I'm saying? Her hair was, kind of naturally curly-ish type shit. You know what I'm saying? And she looked dark in this picture, but like she was light. She ain't yellow, but she damn near yellow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her nose is thin too. Her nose is thin too, so you can see the potential for slave master influence.
Yeah, so that's my OG. Now my grandmother, on the other hand, god damn, she looked like a motherfucking white woman, man. Hold on, let me find this picture, man, and then I'll be done with this shit.
Yeah, she's a one dropper, huh? Your grandmother?
Boy. Hit him with the one drop.
Yeah,
still got
like,
time to rap.
Yeah, like my grandmother and aunts, great aunts. They were very, very light too. Also,
let me get out of this until I can find what it is.
And that's the one thing I'm actually grateful about my family is we have both fair and dark skinned people in my family. So that colorism never hit my family.
Well, black, the entire color spectrum can come out the womb of a black woman.
Yeah, it works for dark skinned people. The thing is that when they get out into black society or the society period, there's going to be an advantage. You can't even you can't deny it. It is what it is.
Yeah, to a degree. Until the white folks really look at your facial features and say, "Oh, that you might be some Negro."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You might be a little bit more Negro in you.
It's funny because both of my
but you still pass.
Yeah.
You're still palatable to white people, the lighter you are.
Yeah, my fair skin brothers are both 6'2" and 6'3", so they hit the jackpot in terms of that.
Yeah, they got the trifecta, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I call it the light skin trifecta: eyes, hair, and skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, those conceptions got to change for us to get ahead.
Don't hold your breath waiting for it to change. Okay?
I'll be long dead, but gotta try to foster it. Gotta try to make a way. I'll be long dead if it ever does happen.
And then you're gonna bring in Latinas that really believe in the hierarchy, huh?
Yeah, man.
So hold on. Here's what I was
It's a
about
high
to
hill
show
to
you. My
climb.
grandmother. My grandmother looked like a motherfucking octoroon, quadroon and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is what she looked like to me. You know what I'm saying? I remember.
Probably would be considered that back in them days.
Was Granny an AKA?
No, she wasn't no AKA, but she could have been one of
Oh
them
yeah,
motherfuckers.
She almost looked like
Yeah,
she was Hispanic. Yeah.
Yeah,
she
that looked just like
octoroon,
my grandmother.
quadroon.
Yeah, it looked just like my grandmother.
I remember walking like into a grocery store with her one time, and the motherfucker was like, you know, the security guard. It was a black male security guard. He was like, you can't come in here, little nigga. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my grandmother was like, hold on, who the fuck you talking to? You know what I'm saying? She went off on that motherfucker, boy. Something terrible, boy. She went into that dude, boy. Like, hold on, that's my grandson, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So the nigga came out into that day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Cause she didn't look like a nigga, but she sure could act like one. I can tell you that.
I've seen him. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That shit fucked me up, man. It kind of threw me off. You know what I'm saying? Cause you feel like, you with your people, and to be told like you can't come in, and my grandmother just walked in that motherfucker. She was like, where this little nigga go?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. My whole thing about what that woman said though is like, look. So you mean to tell me that when the rubber meets the road, fuck your husband, fuck your daddy, fuck your son, you gonna roll with what's best for a group of chicks that you don't even necessarily know, man. And that's what fucks me up about the whole thing, man. I just think that that's, first of all, it's unrealistic. You think the average chick gonna have, I know they're gonna pull up and ride. You might have a core group of friends that ride with you. But that's just different from saying like, I'm gonna pick chicks over my, the people that are closest to me. That shit don't even make sense.
Basically, the intersection of black feminists think they're a whole entire race unto themselves.
Yeah, that they're the only ones who can actually bring about freedom for the entire black race. As
No,
Gigi
they're
has
not even
said
worried about
before.
they're not worried about the black males anymore. They're about
Right. Yeah,
themselves.
that's excluding black men. That's excluding black men, and they're actually engaging in that as a form of like signaling the white man that stop putting the boot on our necks. We ain't the ones you want.
Yeah, well, yeah. Can you come rescue us from these dusties?
Yeah. Stop. If we get rid of the men, will you save us then? We gotta. I mean, that's why brothers, man, gotta get in the fight. Gotta get in the fight.
Well, you got like Dr. Neal says, the BMI, black male independence, right?
Yeah,
we ain't got no choice now.
I just recently saw the video that Dr. Neal put out, like with his interview and how the ace metaphor, which I do not like that guy, man. I do not like that motherfucker, man.
Obsidian kills Ace Metaphor. He can't stand Ace Metaphor.
Oh, man, I do not like that dude, bro. I have a contempt for that motherfucker. I just feel like the guys who do that shit are like Quizlings to me.
Yeah, and bring back Derek Jackson. He did better than his Ace Metaphor guy.
I've never listened to Ace, so I don't know what he talks about, and I'm glad I don't listen to everybody speaking about him. But
I'm about to do my next show. I might do it Monday. I definitely ain't gonna do it tomorrow. But I want to do a show. It's gonna be called Koofy Smacking.
You said Koofy Smacking?
Koofy Smacking.
Koofy Smacking?
Yeah, okay, so motherfuckers in the pro-black community feel like I heard them say on several occasions that we're cowards, that we pussies, we bitches, we complain about women too much, that kind of shit. So I'm like, dude, man, you niggas act like that Koofy can't get smacked off your head. No disrespect.
Hey, Gigi.
I'm pro-black myself.
Hey, Gigi.
However, this all I'm saying is, if you black and you disrespectful, and you pro-black and disrespectful, you can get the Koofy smack.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love black folks, man. To the strength, bro. But if you're on some bullshit, you can get the Koofy smack.
A lot of brothers
Monday
in there.
I'm gonna do that, and it's not about look. I love the pro-black community, but I think that what they've done is they have they've created a standard that prevents the growth of the community itself.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm gonna talk to them, but those guys need to stop coming, you know, on the air and saying, you know, disrespectful shit to the men here in this space. Because not all of us, you know, like, are obese and got like 2-inch dicks and, you know, can't use our hands.
Right.
And don't know how to pop pistols and shit. Like, I mean, no disrespect. I'm not saying that, you know, like, I want war or nothing like that, but you can't, like, bro, at some point you gotta know you gotta know who the fuck you really actually having a conversation with. Now I don't think they do. I think they really actually believe that they're having a conversation with some pencil neck guys, you know what I'm saying, who won't fucking dot their I's across their T's.
They're thinking geeks. They're thinking geeks. But I'm sorry to cut you off, brother. But one question,
highly
GG.
mistaken here, bro. They
You
are highly
did. I
mistaken,
heard
bro.
that. You did
mistaken.
you did a show the other day, and you was asking questions about B1. If you do that show Monday, if I can get to a quiet place, would you want to have that talk then? Would you want to?
That's another conversation.
Okay.
Because the conversation I want to have is double standards and catch-22s and the infantilization of women, particularly black women.
Yeah, a lot of brothers in the country.
I got some material for you here, boy.
And
I know you got it wrong.
Well, the only problem I have with it is, first and foremost, bro, a lot of look, I know a lot of pro-black motherfuckers, and I know like their trajectory in life and where they came from and how they latched on to that shit. A lot of them came through it through reggae music and weed and shit, and you know, like hip hop and shit, watching Dead Prayers or something, you know, listening to Dead Prayers and Paris and X-Clan and shit and all that. Bro, a lot of you motherfuckers is dope heads. Like I just know that community. I ain't gonna say all of it, but I know the community, bro. I know you motherfuckers. I know a lot of you niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? And so look, all I'm gonna say is cut the bullshit out, bro. That's all I'm asking. Cut the fucking bullshit out and be respectful. Now if black men are in dialogue with each other and we have some grievances that we airing, you know, and we being critical of women to some degree. But like the way to step into this conversation is not to start trying to act like we some hoes and like you here to, you know, like stand in, cause that night shit, man, to get them, it's got many men fucking shot up and got their ass whipping, and the chick walk off with the nigga who was whipping her and his ass.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, look, love to see, and a lot of these guys, man, they haven't. I ain't gonna say all of them, but like I done read the Afrocentric literature, dog, like since I was 20, bro. You understand what I'm saying? I'm 52 now. So I done read the Chancellor Williams. I done read the Theophilo Bingers, Ivan Van Sertimus, the Chia Ante Diops. I done read all the shit. I done read the Malefe Kete Asantes, the Muada Ashbys. I done read all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, like, this ain't nothing new to me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is not new information for me. I done read, you know, the Ra'un Efforts. You know what I'm saying? The Marimba Anis. I done already been there. I done read the Jacob Carruthers. All of this shit. So I'm already on the knowledge with that. I've been on that since I was fucking 20 something, man, or younger. So it ain't like if motherfuckers start quoting shit, I'm like, bro, like that's nothing, bro. Like I've been there. Like Georgie James, The Stolen Legacy, and all that shit. I've been on that. James Breasted. I've been reading that shit. The Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man. I've been on all that. Cause I used to go to the black bookstore. I bought all them books.
Yeah.
When I was, you know, and I wasn't getting paid to do it. I wasn't doing it for. The one thing I wasn't doing it for was pussy, and a lot of these niggas is in that shit to fraternize with pussy.
Yeah.
Or
a lot of guys
to like,
are like that.
Or to form a religion against white supremacy. You know, to sit and postulate about history and not actually inculcate it into a belief system or a behavior system.
There's
That's
something
what a
else I
lot of
want to
people. That's what a lot of brothers in the conscious community are actually doing.
and
Formed
to
another
combat
religion.
that, I'm sorry, go ahead, Stu.
They just formed another religion as a buffer against white supremacy without actually facing and fighting white supremacy.
And there's
That's
something
what
else.
separates them from B1. But like you said, that's a different conversation. But they do need to get on point about checking and correcting the behaviors and beliefs of some black women. They got to stop with the goddess. They got to stop with the goddess worship. Because a lot of the men and the women ain't living up to the standards of what it means to be a god in the ancient African belief source.
Yeah, so please don't come to me with no motherfucking Medu Netter type shit, like motherfuckers on the comedic science. If you come to me with that bullshit and you ain't meditating and you ain't like really for real like on your shit with that, man, don't come to me with that.
I mean,
Don't come
it's
to
real.
me. Don't come smoking Newports, drinking 40 ounces of shit, and then trying to kick some comedic shit to me. I'm not gonna try to hear that. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's real. It's real though, but a lot of the people in the conscious community, they take it as face value and not try to apply it to nature, and that's what really the Medu Netter and all that is talking about. It's nature.
So the only thing I've been trying to say, and I ain't gonna spend too much more time doing this, bro. My only thing is this, right? And I'll expand upon it more when I actually get to it. But my thing is this. The impact of white supremacy on men and women might express themselves in different ways.
Yeah.
But cooning is cooning, man.
Mm-hmm.
Whether black women are doing it or black men are doing it.
True. Very true.
Like prior to the advent of feminism and all this shit, where women are like, well, I'm oppressed. If a black woman was on some coon shit before, the conscious community could call her out and be like, she's on some coon shit. Or conscious writers could come out and say, that looks like some coon shit being expressed by this black woman. Now, I'm not saying that black men aren't, look, I'm not saying black men have not been or not on, to some degree, some coon shit. They are. However, you can't just say, well, women have no choice other than to coon because you haven't fucking conquered white supremacy yet. That's some bullshit to me.
Right.
I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. That's some bullshit. I heard too many conscious motherfuckers saying, we gotta accept cooning among black women because they have no capacity to do anything else because we haven't toppled white supremacy, so there have to be coons.
No.
The world hasn't toppled white supremacy. So why is it?
That's some bullshit to me, bro. That
is bullshit.
That's bullshit to me.
That is bullshit.
And so
straight bullshit.
And if that to me, if they try to stand on that and say, well, because recently I got a video. I'm gonna show the video when I show this, okay? But the point is, the video was one in which Dennis Sperling was kind of like having somebody was reacting to Dennis Sperling, but he put the clip back up, okay? And it was some guy talking about, he quoted Chancellor Williams and how war is something that's supposed to take place amongst men and all this kind of shit. I'm like, bro, look. Bro. This is how I know motherfuckers ain't really been in the conscious community for long. And if they are in it, they pick and choose what they want to utilize in terms of sets of theorems and ideals in order to, substantiate their own argument, their own arguments. Now, first and foremost, like if you read most of the Afrocentric or the pro-black literature, it'll tell you the first thing we need to be focused on is re-educating ourselves. Education amongst ourselves. Not white people's education, but a pro-black education, because that's going to foster the right axiology, the correct kind of value system.
And applying it. Yeah, like you
but
said,
to them,
it has to be applied.
But you take somebody like Ebony K. Williams, that shit doesn't even matter. And she's an AKA from what I understand, right? The whole point, like black people in sororities and fraternities used to be about black uplift. It wasn't just about individual achievement. It was supposed to be about racial uplift. Now, this is before, all of the arguments about, race is not real and all this kind of shit, because back, like when Du Bois was talking, all this race ain't real. No, fuck all that. What you think the Souls of Black Folk was about? It was about trying to controvert the idea that black people were subhuman, or that the black race was subhuman, and to talk about, what kind of spirit we have as a race. Now, but I'm not trying to even go too deep into all of this, but the whole point is, it was back when these organizations were founded, it was about racial uplift, not class ambitionism. Even though, like achievement was of a high premium, but it wasn't achievement so you could thumb your nose down at the rest of the lowly niggas.
Yeah, intersectional feminism has destroyed that idea, though.
But I mean, black men have their part to play in this as well. But the whole point is, the whole point is, black folks went from like this whole concept of let's display excellence and show excellence. And to some extent, it can be considered to be the politics of respectability to some degree, okay? But to another degree, one could argue it was all about us doing the best we could to demonstrate that, we have the capacity to display excellence just like any other group of people who, have an ethos or a racial categorization. It's like, we're not like just motherfuckers who are ignorant with low IQs, with plates in our nose, playing bongos and shit, and we're, without the ability to ratiocinate and to contribute towards the compendium of human progress. I mean, so these were people who, like we represent excellence in our form. Now the shit is all about, well, I want to get a job. Like, it wasn't about a job back then. I mean, it was about getting a job. I mean, being a professional to some degree, but it wasn't about like, I got a job, so this is the sum total of what my educational process is supposed to be about.
Yeah, it wasn't the pinnacle of what we could achieve.
Or a pretty girl with a big butt and a man with a 6-figure income.
But anyway, man, I'm gonna get to that shit when I get to it. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do. But look, I'm hungry as fuck. I got some shrimp. I'm about to beer batter this shit and, fry these fries, you know what I'm saying, and eat this shit. Yes, sir, I'm hungry as a dog, you know what I'm saying? I ate some cereal this morning.
Sound like a Gen X man.
I ate at 10 o'clock. I ate at 10 o'clock this morning. I went on a bike ride.
Me and you in the same boat. I had a chicken finger sub, and I got to drop about 80 pounds myself. So I got to start watching what I eat my damn self, and working midnights be messing my shift all up, man. So I got to get it in. And I'm gonna get it.
Do your best. Just do your best.
No, it's consider that weight gone by the end of this year.
Hey, thanks for having me up. Thanks for having me up, GG. And hopefully one day we can have a discussion about B1.
For sure. And look, I think it's a discussion that has to be had. And I'll just say something briefly about it, but without going off into any intricacies related to it. I'm not asking for black folks to not, be acknowledging of people who are from other, cultures who are identified as black, or people from the African diaspora. I'm not saying you should tolerate cultural chauvinism from them or coon shit from them, because that shit should not be tolerated.
Right.
So if they come with some disdainful behavior, or if they thumb their noses or try to act like they're better than, they need to be put in their place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not the whole focus, though. But like you said, that's a conversation for another day.
However, all I will say is, look, we do share a common ancestry. We share a common historical narrative. And, although there are differences amongst us, white people, when it comes time for them to assert their political or power-related interests, they're going to click together. Even if they fight each other on other occasions, they will come together for that purpose.
Right. Yeah,
but we won't do it.
Well, because Malcolm X said it best, black people, we need a cultural identity, a political philosophy. He said something to that degree, and that's what the ideal of B1 is set behind. It was a speech Malcolm X gave a long time ago, where he said black people need to form a cultural identity. That's where
from either the bullet or the ballot.
Yeah, I got to find it and get the whole quote, but because the whole quote matters. But that's what B1 fundamentally is centered
But
behind. Is that quote by Malcolm X.
who's the primary guy that shouts B1 now? Though it's some content creator or something.
Well,
That
there's a few of us, but you know, Jason Black was, I think, was
Okay,
the one.
he's the one. Okay.
Who put forth the idea of B1 Black first. But I had made a comment long before that about being black first. But you know, Jason Black popularized the idea. So
okay, so I'm gonna go watch some videos on what he means by B1 and assess
but
it
but
myself.
but the thing, if you can find, and I think the brother here, Big Bad Wolf, just said it, the Battle of the Buddha, where Malcolm X, he had a certain line in there where he said black people need to form a political ideology, a cultural identity. It was some other things he had said too. So I mean that's the fundamental basis of B1 is that line that Malcolm X had in that speech. I think it was the Battle of the Bullet. I was intending on looking it up today just to be sure.
And
But you can
Jason
start
Black
there.
is not Professor Black Truth. They different.
Yeah, they different people.
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah, they're different people.
That
Yeah,
just
they're
shows you how much I watch fucking YouTube.
But
for real.
they're Tariq Nasheed, Jason Black, and Professor Black Truth. And I like to say myself, but you know, the ground basis of the
Say
idea.
yourself, shit. Put yourself
The
in
idea.
there.
The ideal of B1. Because I said back in 2004, black people have to be unapologetically black. And then
Oh yeah, I'm unapologetically black.
Say it
I
again.
don't apologize. I'm unapologetically black.
Yeah,
But
like,
look, I'm pro black, but I'm also I'm not pro like fugazi shit. I don't like if you on some bullshit. I believe in internal critique. If you on some like if you don't want internal critique, then you really don't want truth to be a part of your movement because it requires dialogue in an exchange back and forth.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's why women got to be put in check. Got to get checked. But
well, you know, sometimes Negroes got to be put in check, but I mean, like, but
also,
everybody has to be open
yeah.
to be put in check. You can't say you can't put her in check because that's a lady. Fuck all that. If she out of line, she got to be put back in line. That's like saying I'm an usher in a church and this motherfucker trying to go to the pulpit. No, ma. I don't care if it's your granny, your daughter, whatever. This ain't the spot where you supposed to be, lady. Now take your ass in the back now. Come on, grandma. I'm gonna usher you in to sit down.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to that slapping the kufi off. I would. You be going off.
I'm coming with
thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
For sure, man. Y'all be easy, man. Peace.
Enjoy your day.
Yes, sir. Good day, bro. I'm about to eat, man. Shit, I'm gonna enjoy that. So look, thank y'all for coming and joining me today, man. The short bus, man. I know it was on short notice, the short bus, but appreciate you, man. Have a good Saturday, man. You know, I'll be back some other time, man. You know, doing some GG type stuff, man. You know, and I'll holler at y'all later, man. Y'all be peace.